Good morning, welcome to the North East Counties Short Course Championship for 2019. Ponds Forge is where we are, and we have a whole morning of events for you, starting with the men's 100 meters freestyle, of which we will have 8 heats. Heat number 1, give you the lineup. I can't bring it to you on screen, so I'll give it to you in lane order. Alfie Scott of Newcastle, Declan Neal of Stocksbridge, Luke Baker of Tynemouth, Callum Smart of Barnsley, Daniel Stevens of Beverley Barracuda, Benjamin Wilkinson of Whitby, Borough Barnes' Roman Wallace, Jack Ashurst of Tynemouth, Daniel Cutter of Richmond Dale, and Harry Courtney of Tynedale. First 50 completed. Good start from Alfie Scott in lane 0 for Newcastle, turning at 50 in 26.12. Second right on the other side of the ball. Daniel Cutter is coming back. Really good second 50 from him. Alongside him, Harry Courtney on one side and Jack Ashurst, both Tynemouth swimmers either side. They look like they're probably going to come in second because Alfie Scott entered on a 58.6. Well, this could be a lot quicker than 58.6. Well inside 58.6. 56, 57 in the end. In fact, 55.35. Didn't stop on the clock properly. 55.35 is the time for our winner. And he's won that by a considerable distance as well. Second was Harry Courtney, 57.23. So he's won that by virtually 2 clear seconds there. Alfie Scott, entry time of 58.6. The actual time today, 55.35. That's going to take some beating right the way through. In fact, we don't get to that kind of time until we get to heat number 6 in terms of entry time. So Alfie Scott in lane 0, setting the pace. And so a very good time in heat number 1. Heat 2 is James Hodgson of Sedgefield, Jonathan Eborn of Newcastle, John Luke Hutchinson of City of Bradford, Ben Croft of Borough of Kirklees, Isaac Ripley of Borough of Stockton, Oliver Carr Darlington, Titus Pike of Newcastle, Harvey Matthias of Darlington, Cohen Stevenson of Doxter Darts, and Jacob Lee of Tadcaster. Fastest in the field should be Isaac Ripley. That's kind of how it's proving at the moment. Ripley is the actually second to turn. Ben Croft is the fastest, 27.78 for him. Him and Titus Pike right up at the front, but it is lane number 3. Looking very strong, Ben Croft. And lane 4, Isaac Ripley, I mentioned before. Looks like he's going to bring this back for the win. Going back to him in 1 and 2, but our winner will come from lane 4. 55.95 for our winner. So a little bit slower than was the previous heat. But still a vast improvement on his entry time, 57.7, 55.95. Second was John Luke Hutchinson, and third was Jonathan Eborn of Newcastle. On to heat 3, men's 100 freestyle. Conor Robinson of Chapeltown, Harrison Butler of Darlington, Brandon Cartwright of Borough of Kirklees, George Knowles, City of Leeds, Thomas Scholerfield of York City, Thomas Mann, York North Tyneside, Ben Towser of Pocklington, Elijah Stannard of Stokesley, Alex Holmes of City of Wakefield, and Dominic Anderson of Morpeth. All in the 57 range. Very quick first 50 for lane number 1, Harrison Butler. He'll be the leader at the halfway stage. Second is Elijah Stannard. Third, George Knowles. It's the green cap of Darlington that is showing the way at the moment. 3 lanes up, and they're coming very, very quickly. At the top of your picture, Elijah Stannard of Stokesley had probably the better of the second 50s, and also right in the middle of the pool in lane number 4 is Thomas Scholerfield of York City. One of those 3 is going to get there. Could well be Elijah Stannard. On the far side it is in a 56.23. So not quite as quick as the previous 2 heats. 56.23 for Stannard. All of these though are new improved times from their entry times, quite big PBs. Obviously, short course season is fairly truncated one, so these swimmers don't get to swim this event very often. Here we go. Let's heat number 4 in detail for you. Fastest in the field is Brodie Clark of Halifax, but only marginally. Nathan Billington's got a 56.8. Matthew Hunt a 56.85, but lane number 5 got off very quickly at first 25. That's Nathan Billingham, the 18-year-old from the borough of Barnes. We have a 20-year-old in here, Daniel Wood, on the far side. But 5 and 1 at the moment for the placings at halfway. Jack Clifford just getting ahead of Brodie Clark on the touch, 27.2 at the halfway stage. But we've seen in this race so far, second 50 changes quite a lot. Now we get about 4 or 5 all going to the wall pretty much together onto the last 25. Coming right into the picture now is Sam Howell of Newcastle in lane number 2. It may well be Howell who takes it. Howell's come through very, very quickly over that second 50, and he will take 56.62 as a winning time. Will the swimmer from Newcastle. Here we are, 56.9, 56.62. Second for Nathan Billingham, and third place was Daniel Wood. Not on your screen there, but top of your picture, Daniel Wood in lane 8. Heat number 5, 8 in the 100 freestyle. Still the quickest time coming from that first heat from Alfie Scott, 55.35. And we should potentially get some sub 56s here, as they're all knocking on the door. 56.10, 56.4, 56.42. Fastest entry time, Aidan Brown of Borough Stockton in lane number 4. He's had a very, very good start. This looks like it will be a sub 56 for him. Keeps going at this kind of pace. Looking good at the halfway stage. Will be leading at the halfway stage. Will Aidan Brown. Brown, 2 up from him is Martin Smith. And right at the top of your picture, going very well, Matthew Cairns of Durham City in lane number 9. Those are the 3. And wait for something from the back to come through quickly. That's Alex Williams, but our winner looks to be coming from 4, I think. I think Aidan Brown should get there first. 55.52 winning time, so first time under 56 for Aidan Brown. Second place, top of your picture, Matthew Cairns, 55.89. And third was Cameron McKinnon with a 56.87, I think. Was it Martin Smith? No, Martin Smith, 55.9. So we had 4 there. 4 go under 56, but still not as quick as Alfie Scott. Heat 1 still providing us with the fastest time of the morning so far. Heat number 5. And Joseph Sadio of East Leeds. Oh, we all know what the East Leeds boys are about, although he's decided to scratch from this one. So I was about to give him the big build-up. He's not here, so everybody else is. And leading the way of the pack who are with us is William Buchenholt of Darlington, who leads at 25.11 at the halfway stage. Third and second back to second. And Thomas English, Eugene Brooks Clark of City of Sheffield, knows this pool very well. Coming through very well on this second 50. His brother Cameron Brooks Clark, that's part of the Sheffield team. Now, he really wants to win this. I think he might potentially get beaten to the finish by Buchenholt. No, he won't. He'll get it. He will get it. 52.94 for Eugene Brooks Clark. Has been quicker, but 52.94 will be good. That's so we're now into the cyclically seeded heat, so it gets quicker here. 52.94 for our winner. And second place, William Buchenholt, 53.43. Not confirmed on the board yet. So there may, oh no, everything's revolved now, so we're okay. And third place went to Barnaby Howarth Osborne of Sheffield City. Heat number 7, Curtis Harper of City of Sheffield, Cameron Green of City of Leeds, Ethan Brown, Middlesbrough, Jason Robson of York City, Thomas Flower, Richmond Dale, Ned Sharp of Skipton, Callum Hall of Richmond Dale, Harry Nicholson, Chester Street, AJ Scott of Doncaster Darts, and Jack Wood of Grimsby. Oh, there's a flying start from Thomas Flower of Richmond Dale, the only swimmer in this field who has been sub 50 before today, and he is showing the way. Clean pair of heels to those in the chasing pack, of which there's about 4 or 5, about a body length behind. But he's certainly broken the back of this 100 free, and unless something untoward happens in the last 15, he's got this nailed. Question of who he'd bring along to a quick time with him. Could well be Jason Robson. Maybe he'll be knocking on the 51 door here, but our winner, ooh, bit of a glide in at the end. He won't be too happy with that. Let's take a little bit off the time, 51.07. So we'll wait till later on today for the really quick time, but 51.07 is the quickest of the morning so far. Second place going to Thomas Flower. So Thomas Flower, our winner. Second place goes to Jason Robson. Harry Nicholson in third place and Ned Sharp in fourth. So final heat of the 100 free. And local boy Elliot Clogg. There's a Loughborough for a little while, but back in the Sheffield fold again. Goes in lane number 4. There's a lot of Sheffield interest in this one. It's Cameron Brooks-Clark, who I mentioned earlier. The more senior of the Brooks-Clark boys goes in 5. Thomas Carswell of Tadcaster. Adam Wood of Leeds, all in this one. Lane 4. Elliot Clogg looking like he's going to be the man to catch, if anybody can, over 50. They can't. It's leading by a second from Thomas Carswell. Then there's Cameron Brooks-Clark and Adam Wood. Well, he's not been all that well recently. He had a bit of a cold chest complaint. Wasn't able to race properly in Manchester a week ago, but I think that's all out of his system now. And this is more like the Elliot Clogg of old. Probably would be around about the 48.04. He might be under 50 though. Yes, he is. 49.61. So our only swim of the morning, sub 50 for Elliot Clogg, 49.61, which makes us about second and almost second and a half quicker than anybody else in the field this morning. Very quick indeed. Cameron Brooks-Clark makes it a Sheffield 1-2. In fact, just confirming that Carswell just getting ahead of Brooks-Clark. Joint second on your screen, but it is Carswell who finished second, 51.6, and Cameron Brooks-Clark with a 51.92. So we're on to the first of 8 heats of the women's 200 metres freestyle. And don't have a full contingent, so I'll go through these at a leisurely pace for you. Jessica Boulin of North Tyneside, Hannah Brown, Gateshead and Wickham, Lola Yoxall of Borough of Barnsley, Cleethorpes is Ellie Buxton, Hannah Clegg of Borough of Kirklees, and Louisa Ibbison of Harrogate. Those are your swimmers in the first of 8 heats of the 200 freestyle. Quickest entry time from Lola Yoxall, 2:16.47. Ellie Buxton not too far behind her though, with a 2:16.58. Early stages, but good early passage here for Hannah Brown of Gateshead and Wickham in 3. And on the far side, Louisa Ibbison of Harrogate, 14 years of age, as is Lola Yoxall. 2 15-year-olds, Jessica Boulin and Hannah Brown. 17 is Hannah Clegg, and Ellie Buxton is 18. So, split time and a half is Ibbison leading. As you can see, 3 are fairly closely matched here. On the far side, Louisa Ibbison, who will just turn, almost identical time to Ellie Buxton. Going right back into it, Lola Yoxall here. There will be 50 more to go when the turn next time. But 4 will be going to the wall, pretty closely matched here. Our leader is now Buxton. Look at that. Top 4 separated by 0.53 of a second. And this will still be quite a scrap to go with 25 to go. We want to call it from here. Ibsen on the far side will just go over ahead of the others, but it's going to be a real blanket finish between all 4 here. Very tight race. Anna Brown, closest to us, Lola Yoxall, Ellie Buxton, I think, just with the momentum here. It's going to be Lola Yoxall who will get there just second. No, she goes first. 2:15.43 is the winning time for Lola Yoxall. And just holding off Louisa Ibsen on the far side, 2:15.79. So both of them going into the 2:15s for the first time. Heat number 2 of the 200 freestyle, and we do have a full contingent in this one. Lucy Ellis of Rotherham Metro, Polly Reid Newcastle, Neem Etchison of Morpeth, Annabelle Cooper of Weir Valley, Leonie Jones of Borough of Stockton, Millie Fenton of Morpeth, Megan Burnell of City of Leeds, 2 from Borough of Kirklees, Natasha Green and Sally Rutledge, and Mia Wiseman of Loftus Dolphins are your complete set for heat number 2 of the women's 200 metres freestyle. First 50 completed, and Leonie Jones of Borough Stockton entered on 2:15.4 is our leader. Tracking her all the way to her left-hand side is Millie Fenton. That'll be the 1-2 going in. Also turning around about the same time in 2 is Neem Atchison of Morpeth. We've got very similar entry times, 2:15.4, 2:15.5. So it could be a bit like the first heat. There might be 3 or 4 going into the finish pretty closely ranked. Halfway stage, and it is Millie Fenton of Morpeth. By just 0.4 of a second over the top 4 at the moment. And that could become a top 5 very soon, because there's a couple of swimmers going right back into the picture on the far side. Sally Rutledge of Borough of Kirklees and Mia Wiseman of Loftus Dolphins coming back strongly, but probably not quickly enough to overhaul our winner. Now, is our winner going to come from 2? Is our winner going to come from 4? Very quick finish by Neem Atchison. Leonie Jones wants it. One of those 2 is going to get it. Jones, I think, just by 0.45 on that turn. Atchison, still 50 to go, so one of these 2 probably will come on to take it. In 2, Atchison. In 4, Leonie Jones. 2:15.4. Jones' best time. Might get usurped here by Atchison, though. It's a bit more clear-cut. Some of the red cap's going to get there first this time, and that's on the finish. Atchison, 2:14.41. Which means she's into uncharted territory. Second, Leonie Jones. Third to Millie Fenton. Fourth to Sally Rutledge at the top. Third, by the way, Atchison, Jones, Fenton, Ellis in 4th place. Lucy Ellis, the 14-year-old, gets 4th. There's your lineup for heat number 3. So all present and correct in this one. Only one swimmer in the field has entered in a sub 2:14 time. And that is Isabel Beecham of Richmond Dale, but lots peppered around the 2:14, so Be another very close one. Really good swim on the far side from the 14-year-old from Sheffield, Grace Shepherd. She won't be leading at the 50 point, but she's right up there. Beecham from Day, from Morris, from Pinder, from Gregory. See, there's a second separating the top 6 at 50. As well, Beecham, Richmond Dale, 17-year-old. There's a plethora of 14 and 15-year-olds in this one. There's an 18-year-old in Emily Hurst, but as well, Beecham looking very secure over the first 100. Got Rina Gregory right on her shoulder. The 1-2, but there's about a second between our leader and second place. And this one's a bit more spread out. Just keep an eye on Gracie Shepherd, who's a terrific swim for Sheffield on the far side, and down below us in lane 0. From the lane we don't catch because it's kind of at our eye line. That eye sight is Anna Morris, Loftus Dolphins. But in 4, Isabel Beecham, Richmond Dale, has led pretty much all the way through. She'll lead 150 without too much doubt. The gap was about a second before, it's now 2 seconds over Una Gregory. And about a second back to Anna Morris, lane number 1. This is a really good indication of somebody dominating a race, taking it from the off and powering her way to the end. Una Gregory's been a nearest competitor for quite some time, but not really that close all the way through. So let's see what kind of time we can get from Isabel Beecham here. 2:13.8 was her best, and best now is 2:12.38. So a good second and a half taken off her previous best time. 2:12.38 for our winner. Una Gregory in second. No place on the board. Just a quick look, and there's Jasmine Campbell. And 4th is Anna Morris. (2:12.38). Quite some way the fastest time. We are awaiting the board to revolve, which it hasn't done yet. So I'm just wondering whether there's going to be a DQ on this. So holding the board for quite a time. Not confirmed yet. Still not confirmed. Big win is confirmed for our winner, Isabel Beecham. Is now confirmed, so we can move on. 2:12.01 was the final confirmation of that time, by the way. 2:12.01 corrected. In number 4, and good spread of northeast clubs here. Loftus Dolphins, Doncaster Darts, Tynedale, Tynemouth, Borough of Kirklees, South Tyneside, Chestnut Street, Middlesbrough, Borough of Kirklees, Harrogate, all involved in this one. Traffic start by Rebecca Wren in lane number 2. She's got the lead at 50. She hasn't quite, but yeah, it's absolutely joint there between Agatha Scott and Rebecca Wren. They were posted exactly the same time at 50. Wren has probably just about got the advantage now, but it's only a minimal one over the swimmers on the far side. It's a real spread race, this. 2 top of the picture, 8 and 9, with Lee Bryant of Borough of Kirklees and Agatha Scott of Harrogate. Halfway stage, Wren by just over a second from Scott, then it gets very tight for the next few. Scott, Wright, Aldridge, 2, 3, 4. For lane 2. Rebecca Wren, 16-year-old from the Tynedale Club, 2:13.26 her entry time. So a lot of big improvements this morning. I bet she'll be looking for something quite sizable today in the short course. No real threat to her at the moment at 150. She's very much under control of her swim. Nobody else is really getting close. In fact, anything else falling away a little bit from our leader. Maybe 2 seconds between Rebecca Wren, Tyndale and the rest. The rest at the moment, second place wise, Lily Bryant at the top of your picture. And alongside Rebecca Wren, Leonie Aldridge. But it's a good time this. Just keep an eye on the clock. 2:13.26 is her previous best. She's been well inside that. 2:12 something. 2:12.97 is where the clock stops for Rebecca Wren. But 2:10.09. In fact, there you go. 2:10.09. I thought it was a bit quicker than that. 2:10.09 is where it stops. At the top of the screen said 2:12.95, but you can see the official clock 2:10.09 for our winner. So that is a big improvement for Rebecca Wren. The 2:10s, bypassing the 2:12s, 2:11, straight to 2:10. 2:10.09, and that's a very quick time for her. A very big win for her in terms of distance as well. About 2 3/4 seconds between her and the rest. On to heat number 5. And majority here, 14 or 15-year-olds. 160, 117-year-old in the field. Fastest couple of 2:10ers in Alana McDonald of Borough of Stockton, Mia Boyle of York City. Lane 5 off to a good first 50. That's Mia Boyle. Just behind Madison Turner at that turn by 0.14 of a second, but it's being a very tight race between the middle lanes here. Between 4, 5 and 6. 6 going to lead into the turn. That's Madison Turner. Madison Turner from Mia Boyle. From Alana McDonald. And coming strongly in this part of the race in lane 1 is Harriet Lee of Tynemouth. So about 1.3 seconds between top 4. Only a tenth of a second between 1 and 2 though, and they're going stroke for stroke. And lead may change here again with Mia Boyle in 4, Madison Turner in 5. Turner on the far side of the 2 from Skipton. Both 15-year-olds. Here looking to get well inside the 2:11. Turner's not been inside 2:11 yet. On turn, as a 6 100s now between Boyle and Turner with 50 to go. And these two are determined not to let each other go. They are going absolutely stroke for stroke. They're going to go into the wall together, they're going to turn together, they're going to hit the pad again together. And there won't be much between them. Meanwhile, there's a scrap going on between Harriet Lee and Sienna Ho Xing for third place. Winner is going to come from either 5 or 6. Probably 5. Probably just 5. Yeah, Mia Boyle by 7 100ths of a second. That's all but separated those two. 2:10.02. Plays 2:10.09 for second place. Sienna Ho Xing getting third, Harriet Lee in 4th. Quickest time of the morning so far, Mia Boyle, 2:10.02. Again, we wait for confirmation of that result. Which we now have. So we can move on to heat number 6 of the 200 freestyle for women. And now we get into the quicker swimmers. The cyclically seeded heat start here. So the one to watch out for is Alice Thickett of City of Sheffield. She's done a 2:02 before now. Lucy Headley's a 2:05. 2:04 from Lauren Graham of Chester Street. Izzy May Reeves in there from Sheffield. and Grace Conroy from City of Sheffield as well. So it's a busy little field with some pretty quick swimmers in here. Lauren Graham is setting the pace in 5 from Lucy Headley of Tynemouth. So the quickest in the field as Thickett's not right there yet, but she's right in the middle of that little sandwich. Lane number 4. Coming right back alongside our current leader, that's Lauren Graham. There won't be much between Lauren Graham and Alice Thickett on this turn. Probably about 3/4 of a body length, and then right alongside is Ella Took in 2, and in 3 Lucy Headley. Lane 5, Lauren Graham, oldest in the field at 20 from Chestnut Street, 2:04 she's entered in on. And at the moment she's dominating this against a couple of swimmers who have been quicker than she. But she's not showing any signs of holding back here. It's a good morning swim. Could she get under 2:04, which is what her entry time is, 2:04.10? Likelihood is yes, by quite some way, because she's looking at the respective positions of those behind. She's still leading this by getting off for 2 body lengths. With just another 25 to go. This is a really good swim, most impressive swim in the 200 free so far for the women. Now she'll be looking to get certainly well inside that 2:04 if she could, and she's right on it, just outside her best, but good enough in the morning swim to win it, and win it fairly conclusively too. 2:04.42, 2:05.99. Of course, some of these times are long course converted times, not always short course times. They sometimes are 50-meter pool times that are adjusted for 25. 2:04.47 is the fastest time, not surprisingly, though we have quite a few swimmers still to come in the next 2 who've been a lot quicker than that, including Kate Clifton of Sheffield, has been sub 2 before now. Heat number 7 of 8 of the 200 freestyle for women. Isabel Grant for Sheffield, oldest in the field at 21, 2:01.71. Liam Carroll in the outside lane for City of Leeds. And good start from Charlotte Berry of City of Sheffield, the 15-year-old. Top of your picture in lane number 8. 2:09.15, washing off on a real flyer for the first 50. It will be Isabel Grant who leads from Melody Jones and Cor Corran. This is a pretty tight race at this stage, at the 75-meter stage. Lane 4, Isabel Grant of Sheffield coming to the fore, but being matched all the way by a swimmer in lane 3. That's Melody Jones of Borough Stockton. And it will just be the Sheffield swimmer who goes over first and halfway. Then Cor Corran, so under a second between Grant, Jones and Cor Corran at this stage. But Isabel Grant will be looking to, if not now, maybe later in the day, provided she gets to that final, make a time around about 2 minutes. 2:01.71 her best prior to today. 50 to go when she turns this time. She's got a fairly sizable lead over the rest now. So it is on the clock. Probably about 1.3 seconds over Jones, then Cor Corran. A bit of a gap to the rest. But, really good morning swim. Coach will be pleased with Isabel Grant. Not holding anything back. Giving it a good go. And leading this by an appreciable amount. In lane number 7, Amy Cor Corran's having a really good second half to her race and will probably take second place here, but not going to catch our winner. 2:03.62 for Isabel Grant. Quickest time so far. Second, Melody Jones. In fact, Amy Corcoran with the second. Final heat of the 200 freestyle for women. So this contains the quickest of the swimmers in the field in Kate Clifton of Sheffield, 1:58.91. Safira Gabani's done a 2:03. Avril Bowler of Borough Kirklees, a 2:04, and a 2:05 from Izzy Winter of Newcastle. Let's see how this one shapes up. It should be on paper. This race is not throw on paper. Kate Clifton's race for the taking. She should be, because it'll be quicker than everybody else. First 50 indicates that she's, in terms of the first 2 lengths, quicker. Gabani in second, then Winter, then Rogers, then Stabler. Good freestyle from the leader. She has her own kind of little individual idioms, the way they like to do it. She's got a very effective stroke. She's doing it with just as much leg as she needs, but she's not going all her own way at the moment, because right alongside her in 5, Safira Gabani is fancying a chance of putting a bit of pressure on Kate Clifton. They are teammates, City of Sheffield, 1:16, Safira. 19-year-old Kate Clifton in the adjoining lane. And then there's a battle going on 3rd and 4th. Swimming lane 7. Stabler and Faye Rogers of Borough Stockton, but as we kind of anticipated and predicted, lane 4 is dominating this one. Kate Clifton by 1.57 seconds over Gabani. Then a bit of a gap to Rogers and Stabler. The question is, how much does Kate Clifton want to go for it this morning? Doesn't really need to. She knows she's got plenty in reserve, plenty in the tank, can conserve a little bit of energy and bring that to the event later on today. Kate Clifton, 19-year-old. Love to be knocking on that 2-minute door. It's been a little bit outside it this morning, but that can come later in the day if needs be. 2:02.56 gets the job very well done this morning. And still gets a sizable win over Safira Gabani in second. Third is Faye Rogers. Fourth, Abigail Parkinson. And 5 is Ella Stabler. So next up it will be the 50 meters breaststroke for men. And here's the lineup for heat number 1 of 8. So we'll all be fairly closely grouped here, time-wise. Not much to choose really between any of them. 54.79 kind of separates marginally out Joshua Jones from the rest. They're all kind of 35 and low. Good start by number 6, Dion Hatfield of Billingham. But could be a bit of a blanket finish here, because far side of the pool, Dion Hatfield, James McCleary and Finlay Easton all very closely grouped. And it's going to go one way or the other for 6 or 7, you would think. Probably lane 7, let's see. Hatfield gets it, 34.52. is his winning time. Half a second quicker than he's been before, according to his entry time anyway. And so no, that's McCleary got there. Sorry about that. Perhaps just giving it a little bit of a false reading on that one. 34.19 for our winner, which was James McCleary. That's the time that everybody else has to attempt to beat. There will be no lane 4 in this one. Travis McLean not with us. Everybody else in attendance. And quickest in the field, marginally, Ryan Nagum of City of Sunderland with 34.6 and 34.5 as well from Callum Smart. But as I mentioned, with their 50s, so little to choose between them. Those entry times probably won't necessarily be replicated in what we see in the races, though. This one is kind of going to form with Callum Smart. 34.5. I think he's going to go inside 34.5 here. Yes, he is. 34.08 for our winner. 15-year-old from the borough of Barnsley. Callum Smart, very good swim. Excellent swim. Look at the margin between him and the rest there. In the end, an appreciable gap between 1 and 2. 34.08 for our winner. Going thick and fast now. Heat number 3 of the 50 breaststroke. Joshua Royal, the 14-year-old from Durham City. Really into his stroke nice and early, but also too was Niall Smith in 0 from Harrogate. Really going for this. The outside smoker here entered in on 34.37. Great turn as well. Look for lane 0 down below us here, closest to the camera. Good first 35 meters. Might well go all the way to take this. They are starting to come back at him, but I think we're going to get lane 0. Let's have a look. Now there's joint winners, according to our board. Joseph Dobson and Joshua Royal, 33.4 winning time for both of them. Centre lanes winning out, 33.40. Same time for Joshua Royal and Joseph Dobson. Number 4, all in for this one. Rowan Smith, Harrogate, 33.22 entry time for him. Luke Baker of Tynemouth and Jack Leggett of Northampton are the 3 quickest, but on the far side of the field, not reading the script. Ethan Stannard of Stokesley, 33.9 for him. And pulled out that turn really, really well. He's looking fantastic. It's a very PT-like stroke he's got going there. It's a lot of moving parts, but he might well get to the wall before everybody else. Is he going to do that? He is, I think. Just wait for the confirmation on the board. Ethan Stannard gets the win, 32.68 for our winner. Top of your picture. That was over a second better than his entry time. There's a lot of moving parts going on in that breaststroke, but very effective ultimately. Doing the job nicely done. Number 5, names on screen. Let's give you a bit of detailed background to them. Robert Bell, Grimsby, Owen Hopkinson, both with 32.5 entry times. Tom Sanford with a 32.6, so again, should be very tall. Bit of a glide in there for lane number 5. First 25, that might cost Owen Hopkinson a little bit of time, but I'm not sure he's too worried about it. He's come out of the turn off the stroke very well. And the person who might threaten him is Joseph Burnell, but I think he's going to get there, or is he? Yes, he is. 32.62 for the Scarborough swimmer. Has been a little bit quicker than that. Second, Joseph Burnell. Third, Joseph Markham. And in fourth place was Robert Bell. No lane 4 again for this one. Everybody else, I think, is in place. So it's Buchenhold, we've already seen from Darlington, had a very good swim earlier on this morning. Jacob Wilson of Darlington. Well, these swimmers already having their second swim of the morning, but what a swim this is from Adam Wood of City of Leeds. Look at this. Adam Wood is not going to get caught, and I think he's going to do an exceptional time here. Now, he's entered in on a 30.17, just a little bit slower, 30.51, but that was a very dominant performance by the 70-year-old from City of Leeds. First swimmer down below 30.51 as we get into the cyclically seeded heats. And that was a big win for Adam Wood. Getting into the 28s and 29s now, time-wise. Everybody in place, so to look out for mainly should be Oswald Hood of Addick and Shem Fair of Sheffield City. They've both been sub-30 before today. That's where the leader and winner probably is ultimately going to come from. Lane 4, Oswald Hood of Addick. Comes out nicely. Once he's into that stroke, he's very low in the water, hardly comes above the surface of the water. Very contrasting strokes between Oswald Hood in 4 and Shem Fair in 5, and that's a really quick time. 29.6 for our winner. He has been sub 29, but for a morning swim, that is exceptionally quick. 29.6 for our winner. And Shem Fair 30.61, the winning time, a second quicker than the second place swimmer there. Well, again, looks like we haven't got an East Leeds swimmer in 4, which would have been Alistair Crawford. We do have one in Max Elphick in 3. And Joseph Moore of Harrogate with 29.4 should be one of the ones to watch here. Lane number 3, Max Elphick, 30.20 his entry time. So the 35-year-old not with us, but the 23-year-old from East Leeds most certainly is. 30.20. We are looking to be around about that kind of time this morning if he possibly can. It's going to be 30-ish. 30.46 for our winner from East Leeds. And second place goes to Joseph Moore. So that joint second with Drew Chesters. According to that, 3 of them on 30.1. That one is correct this time. Yeah, 3 of them, all with the same time. Joseph Moore, Drew Chesters, and Oliver Lill, all 31.07. It's potential here for a swim-off, I think, to get the final place. And we'll come to that later if needs be. 100 breaststroke for women. We'll bring you 10 heats. This 3 for the first heat. Alaya Bakoglu of the Borough of Kirklees. Now she is one of our Paralympic swimmers, SB9. And the 2 able-bodied swimmers in 4 and 5, Lucy Weldon of Beverley Barracuda and Isabel Dowden of Newcastle is in 5. So, we expect probably Aaliyah to be a little bit further back from the other 2, but she'll be looking for her own time, which will be different to what we see from the other 2. Both on 1:23 entry times, Lucy Weldon of Beverley. And 1:23.4 for the Newcastle swimmer, the oldest in the field, Isabel Dowden at 16. There won't be much to choose between them because of their entry time, and so it's proving to be in the heats. Just marginally in front, Isabel Dowden, but it can all change the next 25. And a much, much better turn by Lucy Weldon. Gets her in front off the wall, ahead of Isabel Dowden. And looks like Lucy Weldon's going to potentially take this. She is going to take it by about body length, half a body length thereabouts. 1:22.87 for Weldon. And Bakoglu well inside her best time, her best short course time, 1:30.80. 1:27.42. Heat number 2 of the 100 breaststroke. And spread of 14, 15, 16 and 17-year-olds here. Richmond Dale, Doxter Dart, City of Leeds, Durham, Scunthorpe, City of Leeds, Kirklees and Tadcaster all represented. And all times apart from Chloe Foster in the outside lane, 122s. So there's very little to choose between 1 and 7 in terms of what they've done prior to today. In terms of what's happening today though, Freya Charlesworth of Borough of Kirklees in 7 looking good. But not quite as good as Frankie Ness at the moment. Leads from Lauren Watson. Charlesworth in 3rd place. Not much between them, but I'll say that touch rather surprised me, because it looked to me like Charlesworth was ahead of everybody else. She certainly is considerably ahead of everybody else now. Borough of Kirklees swimmer. Now she's got a 1:22.9 as her entry time, and she's looking really, really good. And nobody's going to catch her, I don't think, over this last 15. They're all starting to come back to her marginally, but she's had this in the bag for the last 100 metres, the last 50 really. 1:21.75, so that's an improvement. It's about a second or so better than she's entered in on. Second place to Lauren Watson, 3rd to Martha Everett, and Emma Simpson in 4th. On to heat number 3. The breaststroke for women. So we'll do a hold here. The referee to put everybody in position. We are ready now for heat number 3 of the 100 breaststroke. Only one swimmer in this field has been sub 122 before. That's Isabel Montague of Middlesbrough, until on 121.93. There's lots knocking on the 122 door, including Chloe Clark of City of Leeds, Keris Watkins of Alnwick, and Ella Jones of City of Bradford. So all of those could be inside 121. The attention at the moment being drawn to Holly Pearson of Borough of Kirklees, though, down in lane number 1. She's had a real storming start, first 50, and will be leading by a fair way at this stage, 1.67 seconds no less over Isabella Montague. Now, has she gone out too quickly, or is this going to be an exceptional time from the Borough of Kirklees swimmer? She doesn't look to be fading at all, and she's still going to have quite a lead with 25 to go. She can hold on to this, then that 1:22.46 will be a thing of the past. It's going to hurt now though. This is what's really going to hurt. Does she go out a bit too quickly? Is she going to be struggling? Is she going to be paying for that early speed? Or can, with the others coming back at her, including Emily Jones, can she hold on at this stage? Well, I think she's just about going to. Emily Jones is trying to catch her, but she's got the win. Gutsy swim from Holly Pearson. Really gutsy swim, a really good time as well. 1:19.12. Now, she was entered in on a 1:22.46. So I don't know whether she's not swam it that way before, but she attacked it from the front, held on brilliantly at the end, and I think she knocked off something like 3.3 seconds off her PB there. That may well be a converted long course time, but if it is a short course time, that is terrific. Really good stuff. First sub 1:20 this morning, 1:19.12. Heat 4. Well, that's quite an act to follow, isn't it? What we've just seen from Holly Pearson. Really strong swim with great attack from the beginning. I was just thought, whoa, has she gone a bit too quickly here, and she's going to really pay for it over the last 50? Well, if she did, she still had enough in reserve to get her to the wall before everybody else and post a very, very fast time indeed. Nobody in this field has been sub 120. Bibi McNicholas has been in the high 120s, as is Susanna Ranatz. Charlotte Lee's a 121er, as is Rebecca Saunders and Charlotte Kenneth. It's going to be from lane 2, Charlotte Kenneth of Skipton. Abby Harris alongside her. Abby Harris going to the front of the field, the 14-year-old from Kingston upon Hull. Just got the measure of Charlotte Kenneth at the moment, but they're pretty much stroke for stroke in 1 and 2. And right at the top of your picture, Eleanor Harvey's coming back strongly from Billingham in lane number 9. But the battle resumed over this last 50 for Abby Harris and Charlotte Kenneth. It's going to be on the nod, and it's going to be Abby Harris who gets there in 1:20.05. So not quite as quick as the previous one, but still knocking on the door of the 120s. Charlotte Kenneth likewise, 1:20.20. And third place at the top of your picture, Eleanor Harvey with a 1:21.14. Heat 5. Stephanie Wellings, the 16-year-old from Harrogate, with a 1:19.96, fastest in this field. So the names we Hannah Wright of Chestnut Street, Jessica Morn of Weir Valley, Sophia Quinnell of York City. New Earswick provides us with Erin Wilkes. Stephanie Wellings of Harrogate, Evie Palmer-Jones of Richmond Dale, Alexa Ball, Newcastle, Jessie Finley of City of Sheffield, Amelia Rhodes of Middlesbrough, and Eloise Helm of City of Sheffield. Again, we're looking down below us, one of the lanes closest to us, lane 1. Jessica Morn leads by just a negligible amount from Alexa Ball. Then it's Eloise Helm. She 1-2-3 at halfway. What's going to change in the second half of the race? Might change quite a bit actually, because all of a sudden eyes drawn to Alexa Ball in 6. Having a really good second half of the race that's taken over at the front now. She'll be the one to catch. Jessica Ball won't be aware of her, I'm sure, but Alexa Ball just seems to have all the real pace, all the strength over the last 50. I think it will be the Newcastle swimmer who will come in to take it. And she does, 1:18.42 for the 14-year-old. That's a big leap down in time as well. From 1:20.21 down to a 1:18.42. Evie Palmer-Jones goes under 1:20 for the first time. And Jessica Morn right on the 120s as well. Heat number 6. 100 breaststroke. Whole clutch of 1:19 lows here. Megan Taylor 1:19.10, 1:19.24. Entry time for the 14-year-old from City of Sheffield, Aine Hughes. Maisie Dunn with 1:19.62. Amelia Jones 1:19.76. Look at this. Not quite spearhead formation, but very close to it on this one. And we've pretty much only dropped, or partially dropped, one swimmer here. 9 virtually in a line at the 50. This is going to be a very tight one. Very hard to call who's going to come out on top on this one at this age. Lots going to depend on the turns. It often does in short course swimming. It's the green hat in lane number 4 of Megan Taylor of Scunthorpe, looking strong. Could she hold on here? She's certainly the leader with 25 to go, but there's plenty who are right on her feet, or indeed just right on her shoulders as well, including right at the top of your picture, Catherine Bell of Tynemouth. 14-year-old's looking very good at the top of the picture, and she will not know what's happening down below her. I think it's still just about going to be Megan Taylor. Well, if not, actually, according to the clock, it's going to be Ciara Healy, 1:19.11. Well, that was a really good finish by Ciara Healy, who snuck through there right at the end, the Halifax swimmer, to post a 1:19.11. Knock 6/10 or more off her best time prior to today. Last time of the morning so far, Alexa Ball from Newcastle. Heat 7. Liam Donkster interest in this for Holly Fish and Abigail Kelsall. Harrogate have a couple of swimmers in 2, Jennifer Law and Emma Moore. The first 25, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pretty much 6, 7 in a line. Very difficult to separate them out at this stage. Georgia Hadley of Richmond Dale's looking very strong, up in lane number 7. She'll be certainly in the mix of the turn. And Georgia Hadley is our leader by 1/10 of a second from Lauren Lacey. Then it's Emma Moore. It's a really good swim. Georgia Hadley, Richmond Dale, the 15-year-old. 1:18.34, her best prior to today. She's got this one, I think, pretty much nailed. The challenge if it's going to come is going to come from lane 0 or 1 from Emma Moore or Lauren Lacey, but I don't think we're going to get anywhere near her. Our winner, quite conclusively, is going to come from some of your picture there, Georgia Hadley. 1:16.51. Well, she and her coach should be delighted with that, because that is getting off a 2-second PB. 1:18.3 down to 1:16.5. And the 15-year-old really attacked that race. There's some really good positive swimming from the youngsters this morning. It will impact on how they swim later on today. We'll have to wait and see. But they've got to get to the final. They're doing it the best way they know how at this stage as they progress through their swimming careers. Really good attacks. Brilliant start in lane number 4. And this one from Paige Fenton. 1:11.7. So we're into the slightly quicker seeds now. Paige Fenton is really giving this her all over the first 50. And she will lead. Almost a second from Zoe Price of Gateshead and Wickham. The only 2 really in the frame for winning at this stage, though. I wouldn't be betting against Paige Fenton at this stage, a 16-year-old from Skipton, looking immense. Lovely low stroke as well. The thing about this kind of breaststroke, you keep yourself as low to the water as you can, so your head's not popping out. See on the sprints very often they do look like bobbing corks, but in this she's trying to keep her body as streamlined as possible. It's very effective, working well for the Skipton swimmer. And she's going to get around about 1:12, I would think. Let's have a look. 1:12.21 is the time for Paige Fenton. And second place to Zoe Price. Avril Bowler, fastest in the field here on her entry time anyway, 1:11.50. So alongside the speed merchant, Sienna Robinson of Sheffield City, Emily Robson of York City, and a couple in from Middlesbrough, Rebecca Keatley and Bethan Palfreman. And starting to lose her cap a little bit, I think, in lane number 6 is Rebecca Keatley of Middlesbrough. She may have another cap under that cap. It's got like a pointy cap at the moment. She's going to get to the wall, I think, just ahead of Robinson. She does. 5.77. She may have another cap under that cap. It looks a little bit like a dome on top of her head at the moment. Keeley, 1:14.20. Her best time prior to today, the 15-year-old, but also coming incredibly quickly right now in lane number 3. Almost out of nowhere, Sienna Robinson, a really good 50 there. And it's Robinson, who was second at the first split, but this one, she's going to be winning it, I think. Sienna Robinson, 14-year-old from Sheffield City, 1:13.3, her best prior to today. Now she managed to break that. She has 1:13.2 compared to a 1:13.3. So 1:13.2 for her, not the quickest. I think it still goes to Paige Fenton in the previous heat, but 1:13.2 is the best she has short course. Rebecca Keatley with a 1:13.7 up there in second place. Third was Eve Linton with a 1:15.84. Last heat, no lane 5. Everybody else in place, including the fastest in the field, the only sub 1:10 swimmer in this race so far. Maya Hall of Borough Stockton has a teammate, Faye Madonna, alongside her. Georgina Wright, Borough of Kirklees in here, and Sienna Ho Shing, her second swim of the morning, the 14-year-old from Leeds. It should all be about the entry times ready to go by. A procession here for Maya Hall of Borough Stockton. Again, she knows she's quicker than everybody else in this field. Question how quickly she wants to go in the morning, how much she wants to keep in reserve for later. Visibly, it doesn't look like she's actually holding a great deal back at all here. And 4, Faye Madonna, her teammate in second place, should be enjoying that. That's what they do on a day-to-day basis, race each other. Maya Hall was 2 years older than her teammate, getting the better of her. And again, really nice stroke, very efficient, gets the job done. Nice and streamlined. How quick? It is 1:10.73 for our winner. So that is the quickest time by quite some way. Not quite the sub 70, but only about a second or so outside her best. And that can remain for later. Right, the 400 IM for men. And we'll bring you 3 heats of this. Starting with this lineup. Byron Peel of Borough Stockton, Samuel Tate of Morpeth, Borough of Kirklees is Martin Smith, James Robinson, City of Leeds, Borough of Kirklees, Luke Clegg, Borough of Stockton's William Ellis, Aaron Wharton of Richmond Dale. The task for all of these who haven't gone sub 5 before today is to try and get a sub 5 time this morning if they can. 3 have done it before, 4 have not. The fastest in the field in terms of what he's achieved in the past is James Robinson, 4:54.16. Lane 3, Martin Smith, Borough of Kirklees. Looks like his butterfly is more effective than the others. As we know with the IM, everybody has strong strokes and weaker strokes, and it will change complexion, I'm sure, during the course when they get to the breaststroke. The leg, the stroke that always, to me, sorts them out. Butterfly gets you going, backstroke maintains your position. Now once you get to the breaststroke swimmers really can then take advantage of their strength and make up a bit of the gap. And you can immediately tell the backstroke is a particular favourite of William Ellis. William Ellis is really coming back very strongly indeed on the backstroke. He was in second place, but now he's moved into the lead. Backstroke looking very, very good from the Stockton swimmer, who, as I mentioned, hasn't broken the 5-minute barrier yet, the 16-year-old, but today would be a good day to do it. He continues at this kind of pace. Surely he's on course for that. And that backstroke has taken him from quite a way behind on the butterfly to being something like 10 meters ahead of his nearest challenger. So Let's see how strong the William Ellis breaststroke is at this stage, because this is where the stroke changes. From the back onto the front, onto the breast. And we'll see whether Martin Smith can make up any ground. Indeed, who else might have a strong breaststroke who can get back into the mix? Perhaps could be Samuel Tatum Morpeth. And already we can see that Martin Smith's breaststroke is probably a little bit better than William Ellis. This is catching up a little bit of the ground. Not much inroad into it yet, but I think he's making a little bit of a move, our early leader. Gap is certainly not as big as it was after the backstroke leg. Freestyle still to come, of course. At the breast, you can see Martin Smith is making massive inroads here and will be almost level with Ellis at that turn. Only a second between them. And the breaststroke working out very well for the 15-year-old from the borough of Kirklees. William Ellis, backstroke amazing, breaststroke not quite so good. Another of the decent breaststrokers is Samuel Tatum. Morpeth has come right back into the leading positions. So again, we have a different leader now. But there's not a huge gap between Martin Smith and William Ellis. It's going to come down who's got the better front crawl, which will start now with probably about 5 meters between our leader and second place. Time-wise, that converts to 5 seconds. Now, who's going to catch? And anybody can catch. Martin Smith, great butterfly, very good breaststroke, very efficient front crawl. Just the backstroke that's put him behind the 8 ball, but he's going to go on and win this if he keeps going at this kind of pace. It's a huge lead now. It's about 13 or 14 meters, I think, by the time he gets to the marker. So a winner will come. Probably doesn't get DQ'd from lane 3. Second place, however, is a much more difficult one to call. Samuel Tate has now started to move ahead of William Ellis. Looks like he's going to get second place. William Ellis is not guaranteed third place either, because right alongside him, Luke Clegg has come back strongly at the end. Let's see what kind of times here. How many can get under 5? Certainly our winner will be substantially under 5. That's a very big jump down in time for Martin Smith. Down to a 4:51 from 4:57. So 3 managed a sub 5. Bit of a struggle today for Aaron Wharton in 7. Not his day. But 4 go under 5, and our winner wins it by 7 seconds in the end. So on heat number 2, a couple from City of Leeds in the near lanes. Harry Milner, Charlie Broom. Cleethorpes represented by Oliver Bradley. Ben Gilchrist, Durham City. Matthew Woodhall of City of Sheffield. Alexander Woods of Grimsby. Matthew Salou of Borough of Barnsley. Toby Mayfield, York City. Thomas Storer, Newcastle. And Jacob Elwell, Borough of Stockton. Into the 4:33s we go now. Matthew Woodall's done that. 4:39 for Alexander Woods, and a 4:40 for Ben Gilchrist. Now we saw just how much the last race changed complexion. The winner ultimately, Martin Smith, having a really good butterfly, an excellent breaststroke, and a terrific freestyle. Just the backstroke let him down a little bit. This one, though, a much tighter affair. With our leader in for Matthew Woodall and Alexander Woods, Grimsby. Separated by 5/100ths, that's all on that turn. Onto the backstroke after the 100 butterfly is completed. Already, looks to me, even from the early stages here, that's a very strong backstroke we're looking at. Getting the turns right on backstroke, though, can be the real key, because you've got to try and get into that wall and turn at the right time. I don't think he quite got his turn right there, Matthew Woodall. Lost a little bit of time. See how he gets in this one. Going into that wall quite early. Yeah, he's going in very early, which means he's losing a little bit of momentum, but he's got 2 to 3 body length advantage here over Alexander Woods. And then we'll see. To me, that's how the race develops until we get to the breaststroke, and then all kinds of things can transform thereafter. And 1 and 2 has stayed the same through the butterfly and through the backstroke. Now we go on to the breast. That's where things do just change a little bit, and change quite radically, as we saw in the previous race. Everybody who's got a good breaststroke can really make up a lot of ground here. Matthew Woodall, though, who is on paper 6 seconds quicker than everybody else in the field, is holding his station at the front. Alexander Woods in second. Third, just coming into the turn now, is Charlie Broom of City of Leeds. One place down below him, teammate Harry Milner. Sean Mum's looking in. See how Harry's doing today. Woodall in the lead, about 1.87 over Woods now. Then Broom. Then Gilchrist. Going tighter though between 4 and 5 on this breaststroke leg. Matthew Woodall hasn't quite got the big advantage over Ben Gilchrist he did have. So Gilchrist is just eating into that advantage on the breaststroke. The turn is brilliant from lane 5. Woods is really right there. Alexander Woods of Grimsby is right there on his shoulder. So down to the freestyle, down to the front crawl now. 4 and 5, Matthew Woodall, Alexander Woods. City of Sheffield against Grimsby. So there's about 6 seconds between them in terms of entry time, and there certainly isn't in the pool right now. It's about 6/10 between them on that turn. So there will be 50 to go when they turn next time, and this is going to be a real scrap for the win. Everybody else quite a long way behind, but the win certainly not guaranteed for the 15-year-old from Sheffield yet. Matthew Woodall still got some work to do. He's just about holding off Alexander Woods, who's a year his senior. 4:33.60, the best time for Woodall. 4:39.10 for Alexander Woods. Yeah, I think he's got it. Just about holding on here. There'll be a big gap between 1 and 2, but it'll be big enough. Enough certainly for Woodall to win it. 4:39 for our winner. It's been quite a bit quicker than that. Top 2 a little bit outside their best, but good race nonetheless. Third place for Charlie Broom. Harry Milner entered on a 4:50.50, so looks like that's PB for Harry. Terry Mayfield at the top, Oliver Bradley coming in. All bar one of the swimmers going under 5. Right, we have some quicker swimmers here. We have a very quick swimmer in Ruben Visda. And when we're looking forward to the Olympic trials in April, we're looking for some breakthrough swimmers. And he's got a way to go yet, because it's a little bit short of the people like Matt Litchfield and those of his ilk. But Ruben Visda is a definite prospect, if not for Tokyo, then certainly for 5 years' time in Paris. 16 years old, making big improvements. 10 seconds quicker than anybody else in this field. I must say, every time I see him swim, he impresses me, because he's full of attack, doesn't seem to have a weakness. Butterfly is very strong, as he's proving here. we can detect a weakness as we go along with his 4 strokes. So the butterfly looks to be very controlled. Everything happening from the hips. So what's going to happen on butterfly? People think it's all from the upper body. More that pace, the power generated from the hips. And he'll almost break the minute barrier with that first 100. Big advantage over William Baines in second place. See how big the advantage could be on the backstroke. This is butterfly looking pretty much in tune, and the backstroke likewise. It should be, if he swims at his normal kind of rate, his normal pace and his normal efficiency. Should be a case of how much can Ruben Visder win this by, and who can challenge him, if anybody. Well, we haven't seen another swimmer in close proximity for quite some time now. He's got a good 5-meter advantage already on the backstroke, and it's increasing. We're up to about 7 or 8 now. The nearest challengers, and they are quite some way behind. Finley Walligora, 3 just turning now, but look at that gap. You just see how big that gap is as Visder disappears virtually out of our picture, almost did. I reckon he's got somewhere in the region of about 7 to 8 meter advantage here over everybody onto the breaststroke leg, which can hold some swimmers back and can just bring others back into the mix. There's 4 of them all in a line in 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th right now. Benjamin Shipley, William Baines, Mason Bland, Matthew Cairns, all pretty close by for 2nd and 3rd, but it's a huge gap. It really is big. I'm not quite sure he'll quite make it 25 meters, but he must be getting on for 12 now over the rest. Very impressive 16-year-old from the city of Sheffield. Brilliant prospect is Ruben Visder. Now, he'll be aware that he doesn't need to go for broke when it gets to the front crawl, so he might just keep a little bit in reserve. I'm not expecting a 4:29 from him this morning, but he is winning this by absolute huge margin. It's halfway back down the pool and nobody has actually turned yet. So it's Visder against the clock, so it has been pretty much all the way through. And Arthur Llewellyn is the one who's made the most of the second half of the race, moving up into 2nd place. Pretty much from nowhere, to be honest. Second half of the race has really worked out well for Arthur Llewellyn. 50 to go for our leader. Don't think we'll even get a margin between 1 and 2. It's just too big for our computer to deal with, but Llewellyn goes over with William Baines for 2nd place. The gap is going to be somewhere in the region of 13-14 meters between our winner and the rest. By the time he comes in, as he does now, it's a pretty decent time, to be honest. May not have wanted to go for broke, but 4:34 will be a decent time for the morning for Ruben Visder. Going to win that by a street. 4:42 William Baines in 2nd. Benjamin Shipley 4:44. 4:44 for Arthur Llewellyn as well, but Visder in a completely different event. Next up, once we clear the pool, will be the women's 100 meters butterfly, of which we will bring you 6 heats. And the first one will contain one of our disability swimmers in Alia Bakakoglu, who was in the pool earlier today and did a PB in the breaststroke, I think it was. Yes, it was. Best time in the 100 breaststroke earlier on. Here she goes. We will be going shortly in the 100 butterfly. It's being brought into place. So lineup is Millie Foster of Chestnut Street, the 14-year-old. 17 is Megan Taylor of Scunthorpe, Katie Wiles of City of Bradford, and Alia Bakakoglu of Borough of Kirklees, swimming in the S9 category in butterfly. 109.54 is the best time for Katie Wiles. She's not going to be hanging around too much here, looking very intent on making an improvement on that time. A big gap over Foster and Taylor at this stage. Now, butterfly, as we know, certainly over the longer distances, not so much over 100, but certainly 200. But, piano, elephant or huge weights suddenly arrives on your shoulders. And trying to get those hips moving. He's sinking further and further into the water. She's not got anywhere near as much an advantage as she had at 50. So just a bit tighter and a bit tougher now for Katie Wiles. She's got enough to bring it home, she has. She's not going to get overtaken by Megan Taylor. 109.54 is what she achieved before. Bit slower than that today. 111.14 for our winner. Second place to Megan Taylor. Millie Foster in third. Alia Bakakoglu with a 118.35. So that is an improvement, I make it, of a couple of seconds, just over a couple of seconds from our entry time for our S9 swimmer. On to heat number 2. Lola Yoxall, many of these names we'll have mentioned already today, having their second and in some cases third swim. Lola Yoxall of Borough Barnsley, Bethan Morris of York City, Hannah Brown, Gateshead and Wickham, Catherine Keogh of Loftus Dolphins, Natasha Green, Borough of Kirklees, Jessica Bula of North Tyneside, Neve Abbey of Tynemouth, Sophie Johnson, Newcastle, Megan Bellhouse Smith of City of Leeds, and Polly Reid of Newcastle. Halfway stage completed of the 50. Now leader is Neve Abbey, but look how tight that is. Top 7 separated by just over a second. Barely dropped anybody in this race so far. 3 almost in a line at the top of your picture. Megan Bellhouse Smith, Sophie Johnson, our leader at 50, Neve Abbey. But coming incredibly quickly over the second half of the race, Hannah Brown of Gateshead and Wickham in lane number 2, and she might be right in the mix at the end. Sophie Johnson of Newcastle wants it, so too does Hannah Brown. One of them will get it. Who will it be? It is just Hannah Brown. 108.75 for Hannah Brown. It's an improvement, marginal though it is. It's just a step in the right direction for Hannah Brown. Second, Sophie Johnston, and third was Jessica Bula, 109.10. On to heat 3, 100 butterfly. 4 teenagers in this one. On to 14 for Freya Johnson of Leeds. 15 is Abigail Miles. Quite a few 15-year-olds, a few 17s thrown into the mix. Alice Thickett, Isabel Beecham, Naomi Calvert, and Erin Wilkes will be feeling like the old woman of the field with 18 years to her name, New Year's Wick. All got very, very similar entry times, 107s to 108 lows. This might not an easy one to work out who might be favourite for. City of Leeds, City of Sheffield, represented here, City of Bradford, Kingston upon Hull, North Tyneside, all with representatives. But Abigail Miles, City of Sheffield, making the early headway in lane number 3. Nice turn, but pretty good from Isabel Beecham in 4, has come right alongside her. Beecham might possibly take over this race at the halfway stage. Beecham, I think, is going to be just right alongside. Look at them, 3 all going to the wall at exactly the same time. Calvert, Beecham and Schimmels all turned at 31.85. Thickett's right there. Schimmels is only just behind. But the winner might now come from lane 0, because Isabel Schimmels is having a storming second half to her race. The Kingston upon Hull 18-year-old is not holding back at all. Now, she'll be unaware of what's happening a few lanes up from her. In lane number 4, Isabel Beecham might just be too strong. It's going to be, I think, lane 0. I think Schimmels going to get there. She does get there, 105.82 for her winner. That's a massive improvement on her short course time. Down from 108.4 to a 105.82. A terrific second half to the race for the 15-year-old from Kingston upon Hull. Wasn't really in the reckoning much at halfway, but second half really belonged to her. Number 4. Annabelle Wilkinson, City of Sheffield, 14 years of age. Alison Johnson, similar, from Doncaster Darts. They're the youngsters in the field. 21-year-old Holly Williams of Grimsby goes in 4. And she has the fastest time of 61.30 in the field of 10. They're going in this one. She's got the dark cap in lane number 4. She'll be the leader at halfway, not the big lead yet. Only 3 100ths over Holly Williams. Third place is Anna O'Brien. The strength and the experience of Holly Williams starting to show here for Grimsby. There you go yet though. On the other side she's got challenges from Holly Williams and Molly Chambers. But it's just going to be enough for our winner, or is it? Or is it? She's just about going to hold on. Yes, she is. It's very tight at the end. Holly Williams getting there, but only by 1/3 of a second from Faye Rogers. Annabelle Wilkinson, I think they both finished on the same time. They did. Joint second for Faye Rogers and for Annabelle Wilkinson. Our winner, though, is in lane number 4. Holly Williams were on 103.66. Lead number 5 of the 100 butterfly. And Kate Clifton of City of Sheffield, 19 years of age, knocking on the door of that 60-second barrier short course. 1:00.60, her best prior to today. And at Bainbridge, Amy Corcoran. Again, these are names that we'll be mentioning several times over the course of the weekend, because they're doing multiple events. Now, I'm sure Kate Clifton will quite go and break that minute barrier this morning, but it's something that will be in her sights for later on today, and she's gone out with a purpose. Clifton in the back swim outfit in lane number 4. Now, can anybody challenge it? Certainly Hannah Newman is trying to do so at the top of your picture from Doncaster Darts. Clifton, though, and Corcoran and Rogers and Berry. 0.64 between our leader and the rest of the field, and she doesn't look like she wants to relinquish this anytime soon. Should be aware, though, right alongside her is Amy Corcoran of Kingston upon Hull, who's going to push her all the way over this last 25. There's a few others coming back, including Hannah Newnham, who I mentioned from Doncaster Darts at the top of the picture. It'll be a real scrap right into the wall here between Clifton and Corcoran, and Clifton gets it, but only by 7 100ths. very, very tight. 102.65 for our winner. Fastest time of the morning. Last heat of the 100 butterfly. Only sub 60-second swimmer in the field, Isabel Grant of City of Sheffield, 21-year-old. A couple of others knocking on the door of at least a 61 here, Melody Jones and Hannah Trousdale. The red cap of City of Sheffield, very prominent as we expect it to be. Isabel Grant will take some beating on this one if she's swimming well. Now we should really get close to her. At the moment she's got a tangible lead. Looks bigger than it does on screen there, 0.13. Visibly it looks like more than just 13 100ths. She's powering on, just extending that lead. In 2 is Chestnut Street's Lauren Graham. She's having a pretty decent swim as well. Trying to move up into second place, but nobody's going to catch Isabel Grant. Again, not expecting her to go sub-minute this morning, but she won't be too far outside it. 61-ish, yep, 61.14. She is certainly going to be the one to beat in the final. 61.14, doing that very, very comfortably from Lauren Graham. And from Melody Jones in third place. So on to the next event, which is the 100 backstroke for men. And we'll bring you in terms of heats, 8 of these. Starting with 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, and one 17-year-old in this one. So Sheffield, City of Wakefield, Barnsley, Newcastle, Billingham all have representatives in the first heat of the men's 100 meters backstroke. And these are the swimmers certainly in the early heats, and we're looking to make sizable improvement, big incisions into their personal best times. Really nice start by lane number 5 for Jonathan Stones. Really good off the start. Of course, short course is all about the turns. You see how his turns, certainly off the his start, he uses much of the time is allowed underwater. Slightly more ungainly stroke, but more effective in a way for Jude Sudderby and Cleethorpes in lane 1. It's not quite as rhythmical as some of the others, but it's at the moment very effective for the 14-year-old who's entered in on a 108.15. Is leading at the moment marginally from Toby Casely of Newcastle. Last few meters. Can Jude Sudderby, Cleethorpes hold on here, or will he be overtaken by Casely? Separated out by a lot of lanes. I think it's still going to be this one in lane 1. It is 105.77 for Jude. So that's a huge improvement. Talk about big breakthroughs. Well, he's gone from 108.5 to 105.77. He's tightens that stroke up a bit. There might be a little bit more to come. It's a little bit ungainly at times, but ungainly is effective today. 105.77. Won that relatively comfortably in the end too. Most of the swimmers there getting inside their short course bests, as we kind of expect to see from the early heats. Certainly was the case there. We've got 3 swimmers entered in on virtually identical entry times here. Thomas Crowe of South Axholme, James Whiten Sedgwick and Nathaniel Horner all have 106.9, either 106.95 or 106.96 to their names. So if the entry time's ready to go by, 3, 4 and 5 should be very, very closely ranked here. 4 it certainly is, with James Whiten Sedgwick, North Tyneside. Will just be leading from Buchanan at the halfway stage. Then it is Josh Denham of City of Sunderland down below us in lane 0. Lane 4, the swimmer to catch, the 15-year-old from North Tyneside. Looking good. But, there's a challenge coming from Josh Denham and now from Connor Robinson of Chapeltown in 2. I think he's probably just about gone up, but Robinson's finishing incredibly strongly in lane 1 and gets second place. Now, good at Harry Courtney there. He must have crept through on the rails because I didn't see him at all at the top. 105.77. He was powder very much dry until the end. 105.77 for Harry Courtney. So, well done, Harry. 1.7 improvement on his best times. Looking to centre lanes or close by, but terrific finish by the 14-year-old from Tynedale. Harry Courtney, our winner, 105.77. City of Leeds extravaganza here. 3 swimmers from that club. Just checking that they are all in place. They are. George Knowles for Leeds in 0. Finney Williams of Leeds in 2. Matthew Jackson, fastest in the field on paper at least, is in lane 4. We do have an absentee. That's Brodie Clark in Halifax, with everybody else in situ for this one. A very decent first 50 for Ben Ward of Chester Street. He'll lead at the first time split. Then comes George Knowles, City of Leeds, and Matthew Jackson, his teammate. But, all looking very rudimentary and very calm and very composed for Ben Ward here, who would appear at this stage to have this race pretty much done, although George Knowles has other ideas. He's coming through strongly in lane 0. Likewise, Finney Williams, City of Leeds in 2, but I think our winner probably will still come from 5. This time I'm right. Not always, but this time I am. Ben Ward, Chester Street, does get the touch before the others. 105.80, so down into uncharted territory for him. Finney Williams just outside the 66s, and George Knowles of Leeds in 3rd, Jack Clifford in 4th. Just marginally slower than Harry Courtney in the previous seat. On to heat 4 of the men's 100 backstroke. All very similar times lodged here. 105.00 being the best of them. Jonathan Eborn of Newcastle, but Henry Houth is very slightly slower. Likewise, Harvey Matthias. So this again can be quite wide open. We don't have lane 4, so we can scratch Jonathan Eborn from the. Oh, so we can. Sorry, his dive was so good. His dive was so good. I didn't see him in lane 4. He must have gone very, very deep. Sorry, Jonathan. I know you're there. I can see you now. But didn't see him off the start there. Jonathan Eborn very much in this race and very much at the front of the race as well. Here's the man with the Newcastle black cap, who will lead at halfway. Burnell, Joseph Burnell, City of Leeds in second. Then it is Henry Howarth of Grimsby. Well, Jonathan Eborn did it right from the start. Looks like he's going to do it right to the end. Timing that turn into the wall is always the slightly problematic thing in short course. Knowing when to flip, when to start your approach to start heading in the other direction. He's got it pretty much spot on here. Now he's entered in a 105. Get your 105s. Goodness me, 102.74. Nowhere near 105. 102.74 is rapid from his point of view. Fastest he's ever been. And wins that by 2 clear seconds too from Henry Howarth and Elijah Stannard in third. Very impressive stuff from the 15-year-old from Newcastle. Heat number 5. Very Newcastle interested in this as well, as you'll see. Elliot Best and Matthew Slater. Borough Kirklees have 2 entered. So it would be 2 from Newcastle, 2 from Borough of Kirklees. Fastest in the field, but only just by a couple of 100ths. Daniel Bailey of Doncaster Darts. Terrific start from lane 5. Really good work for Kenneth Kwan, City of Sunderland. But well, they're all joined up. 4 of them, 5 of them, 6 of them pretty much in a line at the halfway stage. Probably just will be James Newell with it. No, it's Luke Smith on the far side. Look at that. 6, 7, 8 separated by less than a second at this stage. Lead will change hands probably again. Luke Smith on the far side trying to hold on. Elliot Best of Newcastle is trying to come past him. Elliot Best looking very good on this second half. Really good turn from Elliot Best. Probably moved himself up into the lead. Couple up from him, James Newell starting to get into his stroke now, but I think the Newcastle swimmer in lane 1 is going to get it, and he is quite considerably going to get it too. 103.03 for our winner. And I make that about a 1.5 second improvement on his entry time. Elliot Best, really good second half to the race for the 15-year-old from Newcastle. Now the speedier merchants, if you like, in 6, 7 and 8. Again, lots of names that you will have heard me mention already this morning. Eugene Brooks-Clark is going to be in this. Elliot Clogg will have his second swim of the day. Alfie Scott started so well this morning. Really good swim in the 100 freestyle earlier. He's in this one in lane number 4. This could be quite a contest here. Alfie Scott is quite a bit quicker than Eugene Brooks-Clark and Matthew Woodall with 57.05. 16-year-old up against the 15-year-old to his left and the 7-year-old to his right. This is the reverse on the backstroke, but you know what I mean. Alfie Scott, 57.05 This is his best time, short course. And looking like he might well dominate this one at the halfway stage. Already opening up a bit of a lead over Eugene Brooks-Clark. Up one lane from him. Lane 2, though, keeping an eye on James Hewitt of Hartlepool, the oldest man in the field at 23, but still going to be quite some way behind Alfie Scott, who's in the opening race of the morning, first heat of the 100 freestyle. Looking very composed and very controlled on this 100 back. And we'll come in with a time to match. 57.93. That's a really good morning swim too, because his best is 57.05. He's expected to go quite as close to his best as he has. Eugene Brooks-Clark goes under the minute. He has been there before. Matthew Woodall just outside it. But it's a really decent swim with a bit to give, I think, for Alfie Scott. Heat number 7 of the 100 backstroke for men. One more to come after this. A really quick swimmer, Elliot Clogg, to come in heat number 8. Who's something like 4 seconds quicker than everybody else. See whether he can advantage pay when we get to the final heat. Archie Minto's on 58 before today. Sam Lorman, 56 in there. Yes, he is. The East Lead Tour, not all of the East Lead Tours have appeared this morning, but he's here. 56.55 for him. Owen Robson's been under the minute. So 3 swimmers have broken the 60-second barrier before now. Great turns from the East Lead swimmer. See how experienced, obviously, with short course. You don't see much of the swimmer on the surface. See how far he goes under here. He'll take a right up to the limit. He has. Using all that underwater work just to pull away sufficiently from Archie Minto one side, Owen Robson on the other side. They're both pretty quick. Also, Ethan Camsey's having a good swim for Skipton, but our winner, I think I could have called that very early on, is going to be the East Lead swimmer, Sam Lorman. 56.55 he's done before now. Oh, he's going to be close to this. Going to be close. Let's have a look. Oh, well, we'll wait for that to be sorted out, because that's not correct. Our winner in 4, there you go, 56.39. And that is a new PB. 16/100 better than he has been before short course. Now, he may actually have gone quick, because obviously 24 he might have had a quicker time for the 2-year period, but in terms of the time it's been entered, 56.55 bettered to 56.39. Then we got that sorted out for you. Second was Ethan Camsey, 59.37. Archie Minto, 59.52. 3 under the minute. Heat number 8. Now, Elliot Clogg. Seen him already once today. So he's had a little bit of illness the last couple of weeks, but I think he's back on track and feeling okay and fighting fit again to attack this 100 backstroke. Heat number 8. That's exactly what he is doing. The 20-year-old, Great Britain International. The centre of your pool. How deep has he gone on that? Unbelievably deep, Elliot Clogg. Actually disappeared. It's a 3-metre deep pool here. In fact, for the short course, it's only 2, but he goes so deep off those turns before he comes back to the surface again. And we'll be looking for something, I imagine, in the 54-55 range for a heat swim. And he brings somebody else along to a really, really quick time. Well, it's going to be, I said 54-55, didn't I? Let's see whether he can back me up on that. Slides in for a 56 in the end. 56 .47 for our winner, and Ari Nicholson was second, 57.16. Right, the splash and dash of the 50 backstroke next. And we will have 7 heats of the women's 50. So Amelia Jones, right in the middle there for East Leeds, amongst all these youngsters. 25-year-olds surrounded by 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds and 17-year-olds. Lane 5 to a strong start, Sophie Johnston. So Charlotte Clark of City of Leeds, looking good, looking very good. She can hold on to this. Emily Jones coming back at her, and in turn so is Sophie Johnston, and it will be Sophie Johnston who gets a 32.51. First time short course under 33. On to heat 2, and all the swimmers are with entry times 32 high. In fact, the slowest to the quickest separated by only a tenth of a second, so this is likely to be very, very tight. We have lost one of our swimmers. Naomi Calvert's not with us from the City of Bradford, but everybody else is, and this one might potentially go down to Lucy Everson of Newcastle on the far side. She certainly had the best of the turns, and there's the front of the field now. Not long for anybody else to catch her up. Potentially this from the Callum Curd from South Axholme, but I think it's going to be 8 Lucy Everson, and that's not right either. Wait for the 31.61 for our winner, who is up there in lane number 8. 31.61, so well over a second improvement on the entry time that she's given to us. 32.95 down to a 31.61 for the Newcastle swimmer. Heat 3. And all teenagers, all mid-range teenagers here, 14 up to 16 mainly. Sienna Robinson of Sheffield City, the fastest in the field, but only marginally again. A lot of these heats, there's only a few tenths of a second between the main protagonists. Good start from Jennifer Lowry of Alnwick Dolphins, but she won't be first to the wall. It will be a contest between 4 and 5. Sienna Robinson and Hannah Wright of Chestnut Street. Robinson's having a really good second half of the race. So too is Holly Simeon of Richmondale, but it will be, I think, just the Sheffield swimmer getting there first. Well, they've given it to Hannah Wright, 31.84 on the touch, and that seems to have been confirmed. So it's Chestnut Street from Sheffield on this occasion. 31.84, slightly better finish from Hannah Wright from Sienna Robinson. Sheffield City. Heat 4. The last of the non-cyclically seeded heats, I think. 7 of these, so yeah. One more before we get to the slightly faster swimmers. 13-year-old Katrina Ho goes for Gateshead and Wickham in lane number 8. It's in on 32.06, and she really is going for it too. The impetuosity of the youth being shown by Katrina Ho on the far side. Not holding back on this 50 at all. Now, if she's going to win, that would be a bit of a surprise compared to some of the other times surrounding her. Ella Cooper of City of Leeds looks to be getting into her swim pretty well. So too does Sophie Much of Newcastle. Between those two, Ella Cooper gets there by 13/100ths of a second. 31.38. Improvement on her entry time of 31.7. And Katrina Ho was entered in on a 32.06. Does exactly that, replicates it in heat number 4. Heat 5 of the 50 backstroke for women. Now we're getting into the faster swimmers with times sub 30, including that of Imogen Volans of Harrogate, 29.69. She's done. 30.22 for Madison Turner, 30.10 for Bethan Endicott. All looking to get in around the 30 if they can. Lane 4, Imogen Volans is going to win this. She's going to win it. Not comfortably, but certainly in a good time. 29.81, the only one to go sub 30 in that field. Not a million miles outside her best time either. 30.19, Madison Turner in second place, and Harriet Rogers in third for Darlington. Heat 6. Amelia Robertson, the swimmer in this field who has been sub 30, short course. 15 years of age. The youngest swimmers, the youngest in the field, are the two 14-year-olds, Grace Conroy and Bethan Palfreman. Could be quite a tight one here. Amelia Robertson and Ellie Walker, 4 and 5. That's how it's developing early stages anyway. Lane 4 from 5, and certainly already in the mix too is Grace Conroy of City of Sheffield. But Amelia Robinson of Newcastle would seem to have determined the front of this race. Unless there's a late challenge from Ellie Walker, which there might well be, but I think Newcastle swimmer's going to get there and relatively comfortably glide in a little bit, but that'll be okay for a time. Okay for a finish, 29.80 for Robertson. She has been quicker than that, but still sub 30, and only 2 swimmers have been sub 30 so far. That's your lineup for the final heat. Molly Garrett of York City. And they're in 4 as the fastest in the field. Izzy May Reeves of City of Sheffield, 2 15-year-olds side by side. Caitlin Cambrook of City of Sunderland, looking to break that 30-second barrier for the first time. Well, Izzy May Reeves certainly looked up for it when I saw her on pool deck earlier on today, but we know that Molly Garrett is a great swimmer, really great competitor, and she's got off to a terrific start. And on the 50, get for a good start, chances are you might come and bring it back, and it looks like that's what she might go on and do. Caitlin Cambrook is her nearest challenger at the moment, but nobody's going to catch the orange cap of York City, and Molly Garrett. Really impressive, great swim, and an okay finish. 29.22. Very impressive stuff from Molly. A really great racer. Some great swimming stock does Molly. And showing again with that time, 29.22 for our winner. Next up, the 200 butterfly for men. 5 heats. Oh, we have a problem with the pad. Pad 4 is playing up, so we'll do a little reparation work, slide in another one, so we'll just take a little break once the timing devices are swapped over, and we'll be back with the 200 fly very shortly. That will be followed by the 200 IM for women, 400 free for men, 50 freestyle for women, and then the 200 breaststroke for men. So back with the action as soon as they have put a new touch pad in, which should be in the next couple of minutes. So running repairs completed. We can continue with the 200 butterfly for men. Robert Cross of Morpeth, Evan Reeves of Darlington, Benjamin Wilkinson of Whitby, and Oscar Blanchard of Cleethorpes are the 4 swimmers in the opening heat, all with virtually identical entry times as well. 2:33.6, 2:33.3, 2:33.7, so very little to choose between any of them. At this early stage, there is a bit to choose between them in the pool, because Robert Cross, off to a very good start, the 15-year-old from Morpeth, and belying the fact that he's supposedly on paper very close to the other 3, because he isn't very close to them at all at the moment. 200 butterfly, though, a real test of endurance, and just keeping your body in some sort of shape for the last 50 when things do start building up. Shoulders get heavy, the hips don't come out of the water as they do in the first 50. But it's looking pretty comfortable. Halfway stage. Robert Cross of Morpeth, 15-year-old, leading by a substantial margin, 1.59 at that time break. And the swimmer a couple of lanes up from him, Benjamin Wilkinson of Whitby. But still a long way to go. 75 metres still to complete for our leader. And the gap is starting to get a little bit tighter and a bit closer between him and Benjamin Wilkinson, the two 15-year-olds going stroke for stroke, and not quite side by side yet, but it may not be too long before Wilkinson's alongside him. He's making up a bit. It was quite a tired little turn, I thought, from Robert Cross there, the way he came off the wall there, but still got a little bit in reserve. And certainly when they get back into the swimming, he's still holding off the challenge from Benjamin Wilkinson. The gap is not getting appreciably less than it was before. I think he's got enough. I think he's got ample resources to bring this back now. This is working very hard. This will be a bit harder than Robert Cross is doing, but not making any real inroads. So Robert Cross 2:33.7 before today, really around about 2:29 here. 2:29.05. So that's a very big improvement. So going to that last 50, he looked like he came back with not too much energy off the wall, but when he got into his stroke, it still looked as seamless as before. P2 of the 200 butterfly. Kieran Much of Newcastle, Finley Allman of City of Sheffield, Evan Sawdy of Derwentide, Aaron Wharton of Richmond Dale, Connor Robinson of Chapeltown, Joshua Robinson of Derwentide, Robin Verreckel of North Tyneside, William Hannant of North Tyneside, York City, with Lucas Walligora and Dominic Matthias of City of Leeds. That's your 10 for heat number 2. First 50 completed. Our leader at this stage is Connor Robinson, with marginally the quickest time in the field by about 18/100s, but belying that with this swim. 7-year-old from Chapeltown, Joshua Robinson of Derwentide, the 14-year-old. Impressive 2:27 at the moment for a 14-year-old. Roman Verreckel alongside with a 2:30 and going very well. Almost out of sight, out of mind in 0 is Kieran Much of Newcastle. He's had a very good second half to this race. Has moved himself up into second place, just a second behind, but I think he's catching with every stroke. Kieran Much would seem to be the one with all the momentum at the moment. Although it is lane 4, Connor Robinson of Chapeltown who's leading. Much is making some inroads, especially when there's enough time for him to overhaul the 17-year-old. The 15-year-old from Newcastle is doing everything he can, but not going to be successful on this occasion. Just wants really to hold on to second place if he can, and obviously post a really quick time. Robinson in for the win. 1:44.04, 50 to go. I think he's got enough. This would be a relatively straightforward, comfortable victory, or should be at least, for Connor Robinson of Chapeltown. The question is whether he can get sizably inside that 2:27.6 that he's done before. Much is fading a little bit in lane 0 after that very promising middle part of the race. Robinson will come in to win this fairly conclusively as well. 2:21.61. It's conclusive as far as his time's concerned too, because he hasn't been anywhere near that before. That short course, Finley Allman 2:24.62 in second. Big win for Connor Robinson in third place. Going to Joshua Robinson 2:25.99. So the majority of the leading protagonists in that race all achieving quite sizable improvements in their entry time. All 10 ready. Actually, I say 10, there's only 9 because we don't have a lane 1 for this one. All the others are in there. Actually, no, we have another absentee in lane 7, so a couple have not shown for this one. Fast as Archie Minto as we get into the cyclically seeded heats for the 200 butterfly right now. Archie Minto with a 2:07.10 to his name. Ned Sharp of Skipton with a 2:08.52. Skipton boys are the two quickest in the field, and they will be racing each other, I'm sure, as they do at club level. So a good swim from Alfie Elliott of Darlington, 2:15.30 he's entered in on. It's not want to let the Skipton boys go, though. On paper, he's something like 7 or 8 seconds slower than they are. But showing that way at the moment. Those three pretty much clear of everybody else. Some battles going on between other swimmers behind, but these are the three most prominent in the race at the moment, including our leader, Ned Sharp, who is 1.67 seconds clear of his nearest challenger, which is Alfie Elliott of Darlington. So very much in the mix, but not close enough yet to make any real inroads on Ned Sharp. 2:8.52, Sharp looking, as his name would suggest here, another 50 to go after this. Well, he's got a huge lead, absolutely massive lead with 50 to go. So you can only extrapolate from that 2:07 is going to go out the window pretty quickly. 2:8.52 compared to a 2:07.10 for Archie Minto. Archie Minto is not even in the mix here. So all we can assume this is a really exceptional swim by Ned Sharp. So he's entered in on a 2:8.52. Look at the clock down the bottom is going to beat or be there or thereabouts. So it says 2:8.74. He actually slid just outside his best time. Thought he was going to be inside it, but just marginally outside it, just shy of it. But look at the margin between 1 and 2. Look at the margin. 6 seconds between our leader and our second placed swimmer. 2:14 plays 2:08. Really, really quick swim. So not quite on his best time, but not too far shy of it. 2:08.74. There's a couple of swimmers who have been quicker than that in the next heat. Jason Robson of York City in 4, William Baines of Borough Stockton in 5. The two fastest, and should be the ones that we're looking for mainly in this one in terms of winning it anyway. York City's Jason Robson going for it early stages, 200 meters, remember, butterfly. And go out with the best of intent and try and take the race by the scruff of the neck. But the last 50 sometimes can come back and bite you quite severely. But he's decided the best way to go for this is to attack it really aggressively and try and break open the field. And that's pretty much what he has done. Jason Robson here. Jason Robson looking very good. A couple of body lengths, getting on for 3 body lengths clear of everybody else in the field. Halfway stage for our leader. 1:01.18. Noting that down for the next one, see just how close they get to this time, because he looks to be putting everything in, every nerve and sinew being given to this one by Jason Robson of York City. Jacob in the last one, but this is Jason. Jason Robson will have 50 to go when he turns next time, and nobody's getting particularly close to him at this stage. There's 4 or 5 quite a way adrift, but there's a massive margin between 1 and 2. Best time, Jason Robson, 2:06.10. Well, he's going to be in and around that time. 4 behind, scrapping for the minor placings, but all they've seen for the majority of this race, the feet of Jason Robson, 16-year-old from York City, looking good. Now, he'd love to be in and around 2:06.10. He's not going to be that far shy, might be a little bit outside actually now. But last 50 maybe taking its toll to a certain extent, 2:09.75, but it's still very good. It's still a appreciable victory of some nearly 6 seconds over the field. Second is Ben Gilchrist, 2:15. 2:15.2 for William Baines. Both those swimmers have been quicker than that, but the wristband probably taken away from him a little bit by Jason Robson going quite as quickly as he did early on. And the last heat of the men's 200 metres butterfly. Cole Hewitt of City of Sheffield, 2:04.25, should be the fastest overall here. Aidan Brown, Borough of Stockton in the field at 2:07, 2:11 from Alexander Woods of Grimsby. A bit like the procession we saw with Jason Robson in the previous heat, this should be likewise for Cole Hewitt, who is at his very best. Getting early pressure though from Aidan Brown of Borough of Stockton to his right-hand side. He just got a slender advantage as he came off that wall, but I think on the flat, Cole Hewitt will get to the wall before he does at 50.65. Bunkle actually moved up into second place now. Still the City of Sheffield swimmer with about a body length advantage over Aidan Brown. Makes up quite a bit of those turns, does Cole Hewitt. Nathan Bunkle in third for York City. Halfway stage of the final heat of the 200 butterfly. Hewitt's advantage now. Well, just giving a little pointer. Is nearly 2 seconds quicker than was the previous heat and Jason Robson. So he's going to come in for around about 2:07 maybe. Keep it up at this kind of pace, though he can obviously ease back a little bit towards the end if he so chooses. But Cole Hewitt has definitely broken the back of the field. It's 50 to go. 1:31. How big's the lead now? 3 seconds over Aidan Brown. 4.82 over Bunkle. 6.97 over Woods. Should be aiming for about 2:07 here, I think. Let's see. (2:04.25) his best short course time, Cole Hewitt. Oh, it's going to be inside 2:07. Near 2:05, surely 2:06 maybe. Yeah, 2:06, 2:06.15. That'll do very nicely. 3 seconds quicker than the previous heat and 2.5 seconds quicker than was Ned Sharp in heat number 3. So impressive stuff from Cole Hewitt, 17-year-old from the City of Sheffield. That must be the red-hot favourite for later. And for the third time, we're going to see Alia Bakakoglu of Kirklees. This time in the 200 IM. Annabelle Cooper of Weir Valley goes in lane number 4. And 5 is Phoebe McNicholas. 2 15-year-olds and 1 14-year-old in the first of 7 heats of the women's 200 IM. Best time for the 2 able-bodied swimmers, 2:35.32 Phoebe Nicholas, 2:35.25 Annabelle Cooper. And Alia Bakakoglu has done 2 personal bests today already in a short course event. So let's see what she can do the same today. So she's aiming for a 2:59.60 is entry time. Cooper leads from McNicholas. The backstroke now. And quite an advantage now for the 14-year-old over the 15-year-old. About 8 to 9 meters between the leader and second place. So they both got virtually identical entry times, 2:35.25 for our current leader, 2:35.32 for Phoebe McNicholas. We'll also keep an eye on what Alia Bakakoglu does for Borough of Kirklees in third place. We expect her to be obviously the third finishing swimmer here, as she is the SM9. But as I say, both swims this morning have been better than she's ever done before, short course, so we can make it 3 in a row if she can. Last 50 for our leader. She turns on to her front for the front crawl. So 2:35 probably will be disappearing. That's what she'll be trying to do. Getting into that range now. Finishing off in lane 4. Annabelle Cooper just stepping past the 2:35s, I think. We'll wait for the count back on that. 2:35.86 winning time for Annabelle Cooper. $2:35.86 for our winner. And Alia Bakakoglu with a new personal best. Third personal best of the morning for the Borough of Kirklees Paralympic swimmer. Well, definitely a Sheffield fest here. It's not City of Sheffield, there are 3 of those. There's a City of Sheffield, but just hold your horses on that one. We've got a couple of absentees. We've got more than a couple of absentees. We don't have anybody in lane 3. So that's Erin Wilkes gone. We don't have anybody in lane 4. That's Ain Hughes gone. We have anybody in lane 7. That's Sienna Robinson gone. So we've lost pretty much half the field here. So those will remain. Georgia Robertson of City of Sheffield has Gracie Shepherd, her teammate, alongside her. A couple of lanes up is Martha Everett of City of Leeds. And now on this side of the pool, Kirklees with Natasha Green. And Erin Wilkes, as we know, is not with us in lane 3. So it's a bit of a spread out field here. A couple of lanes and a couple of blank lanes, and a couple of lanes and another blank lane. But 5 very much at the front of the field. That's Georgia Robertson. 2:34.17 is her best time. And again, these early heats, I expect most of the swimmers of calibre to be getting well inside their previous bests. It looks like she's well on course to do just that. Big advantage at this stage on the breaststroke. So she knows the front crawl not too far away now. Finishing off with the last 50. Bring it home in a reasonable time. I'm sure that she will have talked with her coach about what a reasonable time might represent today. 2:33, 2:32 maybe, if she could get down to that kind of time. Looks like she's got plenty in reserve. Very smooth, lovely freestyle. Very efficient. The opponent parks working very well. Even look at that clock at the bottom. 2:34.17 before today. Well, she'll be well inside that. Just a question of how far inside it. She should break 2:30 here, I think. Let's have a look. Yes, she does. 2:29.96, only just, but she does. 2:29.96. So a really good new marker for Georgia Robertson. Martha Everett at the top, getting second place, and third going to Gracie Shepherd. 2:29.96 represents something like a 4.2 second improvement for Georgia Robertson at the age of 14. Which will tell you, and people who watch swimming will tell you those kind of ages they should be making big drops down in time, but that's exactly what she has done today, so that's what the coach ordered. Heat number 3 of the 200 IM, and we've got a whole clutch of 232ers here. In fact, with the exception of the outside lanes, all those in the centre are in the 233 bracket. And leading the way on the stages, Hannah Brown of Gatesend and Wickham. Second place at that turn was Megan Kirkman of York City, but on the backstroke they're all starting to join up a little bit now. It's getting a bit more congregated. It remains the same though. Lane number 4. Macy Yoxall has moved into the lead from Borough of Barnsley, a 14-year-old. She's got competition, she's got company. Arriving from Hannah Wright. And also from Hannah Brown, the two handlers in first and third. Yoxall in the middle of them. Kitching there too. Morris and Gregory. Now the breaststroke leg, even on the shorter version, it can start to transform the race quite radically and drastically, and it's starting to do that right now. Lane 2, Hannah Wright, Chester Street, 16-year-old. Just got the advantage. Hannah Brown's in there too. Una Gregory's in there. Look at them, 4, 5, potentially 5, quite in the line, but very close together. Coming into this final 50. Hannah Wright just touches the wall ahead of Una Gregory. Hannah Brown, Macy Yoxall, Bethan Morris. Now the sprint to the finish. Lane 2, Hannah Wright seems to have timed this perfectly. The 16-year-old from Chester Street. The line there is, of course, that Una Gregory doesn't have something to say about that over the last few metres. She's trying. Her very best, as is Macy Yoxall, to get back on level terms, but I think it should be Hannah Wright who gets there first. And she does. 2:31.72. So into the 2:31s for the first time short course for Hannah Wright. Second, Una Gregory. Third, Macy Yoxall, and Hannah Brown in fourth. Heat number 4 of the 200 IM. As we get towards the faster swimmers, we will be seeing them in heat number 5. But heat 4, fastest in the field. The only sub 2:30 swimmer is Eve Linton of Grimsby. Everybody in for this one. And all 3 having a good butterfly leg. That's Seren Williams of Borough of Stockton. She may well be the leader. Actually, not quite. Steele got there just before her as Sheevels. But top 4 separated by 0.74 after the butterfly leg. The backstroke, though, seems to be belonging to lane 1. Millie Steele, Borough of Stockton, having a very good backstroke leg. And she's come zipping right through to the front of the field. 2 up from the top of your picture is Georgia Hadley of Richmond Dale. And starting to work her way through in 5 now is Naomi Sheevels of Chester Street. There will be one, I think, who'll get there just ahead of everybody else. There's Millie Steele. Georgia Hadley in second, Sheevels, then Reed. Breaststroke leg, though. Is this one going to sort them all out? Looks like it potentially will, with Georgia Hadley having a great breaststroke leg here. First 25 has belonged to her. She Comes right through to the front of the field with nobody particularly close at this stage. She's going to make the most of a breaststroke advantage here, which is what she is doing. She might have a tangible lead and enough to hold on to for the freestyle, though Sarah Williams is making a good comeback in lane number 3, but she's still be quite a way behind, over a second behind, which might well be enough for Georgia Hadley to bring it back. She's got a 2:30.77 entry time, so can do break that 2:30 barrier for the first time, sure, of course, and still has about 2 body lengths advantage over Sarah Williams. Williams, though, is coming back at her. This 2 now is Eve Linton. Probably just got enough. Georgia Hadley. Hadley up against Sarah Williams, and she gets there, but only by 0.2 of a second does Hadley, with a 2:28. So down to the 2:28 from the 2:30 she goes. Sort that out for you. Sarah Williams in second, and third place will be wait for it just sorting out the swimmers on the board. No DQs at the moment. We know our winner is, we know who second is. Through those times, just about Eve Linton's got third. She has 2:30.14. Naomi Shibbles 2:30.33, Millie Steele 2:30.98. E5, so we're into the slightly quicker swimmers now with more rapid times, including Chantal War, who has entered in on a 2:20.00. We have one absentee in this field, but only the one. So the quickest marginally in the field will be, well, should be, Chantal War, the 18-year-old from Doncaster Darts, with a 2:20.00 entry time, but it's going to be competitive because there's a few 2:21s and 2:22s dotted around in the field. Lane 5, Ella Bainbridge has got other ideas. Doncaster Darts teammate of Chantal War leads at this stage. Stabler in second place. Scott, then Bradley, then Keatley. Backstroke leg. It's time to just concertina up a little bit here as Chantal War hits the front. And a Stabler. So Stabler and Ella Bainbridge are going into the wall together. Chantal War's a bit further back than I thought. She's about 1.5 back at this stage. And on the breaststroke leg, watch out for the yellow cap of the City of Leeds. Martha Bradley is coming through like a train in lane number 3. Now the problem is that the two of them can't make a huge amount of 50 metres, but she's making as much of it as she can. You have 100 metres, you have a lot to make up on the breaststroke, but breaststroke is very strong from her. Moves her up into second place. At the moment she's still a little way adrift of our leader, Ella Bainbridge of Doncaster Darts. That's the 1-2 at the moment. There's about 3 in the line for third place. War, Stabler and Turner separated by about a second. Ella Bainbridge, 15-year-old from Doncaster Darts, will be hoping to get around about, well, it's at the 2:20 mark if she could. Let's see. 2:20 is certainly on the cards, potentially here for Ella Bainbridge. If we just speed up a bit, probably about 2:21, I reckon, for the finish. 2:21.38 for our winner. So it's still an improvement, albeit by 12/100ths of a second, but it is. Martha Bradley in second, third to Ella Stabler. Now Chantal War getting third place and Stabler in fourth. All confirmed, so we can move on to heat number 6 of 7. Plenty of interest for Sheffield and Kingston upon Hull in this one. 3 from Sheffield, 2 from Kingston upon Hull. Abigail Miles, 15-year-old from Sheffield, another great talent for the future. 2:18.8 entry time. Quite a few around the 2:20 mark here as well. Terrific butterfly legs so far from Amy Corcoran of Kingston upon Hull. Now she'll have her strengths and weaknesses, as all swimmers do on an IM. Butterfly is one of hers, so she needs to get a bit of an advantage here. Schimmels 0.61 behind Williams and Miles. Top 4 separated by a couple of seconds. Backstroke leg will change things around again. That's all the breaststroke one. Corcoran still in front though from Holly Williams of Grimsby. Going through now Abigail Miles, who is about 4 seconds quicker than everybody else in the field. So we should see her quite prominent towards the back end. A good breaststroke, so this is where she should start to really get involved. But Emma Bainbridge is in the last one with that quick time. 2:21.38. At the moment, it's being dominated by lane number 5 by Amy Corcoran. Abigail Miles should be starting to eat into that lead a bit now. It's marginally, but only on her feet, not further up. Corcoran from Miles. Then there's about 4 in a line. Isabel Schimmels is there. Hannah Newnham is there, and Jenna Ho Xing of Leeds coming through nicely on the breaststroke. Now on the freestyle, bit of a race on between the 17-year-old from Kingston upon Hull, who's in the middle of your picture, and just one down below with the red cap, Abigail Miles of Sheffield. Well, it looks like the tables will be turned here. Miles may be thinking, I just need to do enough to make the final later on today, and she will do that, but this is going to be a quick time from Amy Corcoran. She'll be around about her best time. 2:21.61, so about 3/4 of a second slower than she has been, but nicely swum by Corcoran. We don't have a time for Abigail Miles for some reason. Even though she finished second. So we have to go to the backup timing because she's not showing on our board at all at the moment. I'm sure she'd like a time, but there's nothing showing on the board or indeed on your screen at the moment for our second place swimmer. I'm not quite sure what they're going to do about that. There's normally a backup timing which appears, but no backup time has appeared for Abigail Miles yet. Not sure we can carry on until we get that time, to be honest. I know we've got another race ready to go, but I'm not sure we can go without having Abigail Miles' time. Before we move on to the last heat. Ah, we got the time, there you go. 2:23.34. She was looking up anxiously, thinking, well, there's no time for me there. And I'm thinking, well, when they get a backup time, it didn't appear straight away. She's okay now. So we'll allow her to compete later on today in the final. Last heat. Abby Bowden of Kingston upon Hull, 2:18.80. Best time of any of the swimmers in this field. She is in lane number 4. Izzy May Reeves, City of Sheffield with a 2:20, 2:22 for Paige Fenton, who had a terrific swim earlier today. Really looked like she's in terrific form. Beth Hall leads at the moment, although up in 6. Faye McDonough's looking good too. She'll be in second place. Bowden, Fenton, Jones in that order. Beth Hall, 14-year-old from Grimsby. And 6. Faye McDonough moving into, at the moment, a commanding lead on the backstroke. Even after that 25, she's taken up a lot of slack and straight into a stroke. So lovely backstroke rhythm and action too. Nice and high on the water. And it's got a reasonable advantage going into the breaststroke here. Halfway stage of the last heat of the 200 IM. Now, can anybody catch her? Breaststroke, of course, I always think it's worth 2 strokes in one. If you've got a good breaststroke, you can make such big inroads, and they're starting to do that slowly but surely. Beth Hall and Paige Fenton. Still our leader, though. The breaststroke, although it's not as big as it once was, is Faye McDonough of Borough Stockton. 22.60 her best, but yeah, she's still holding on. The breaststroke specialists are not overhauling her yet. The lead's not big though, just about a second and a half, and that may not be quite enough to prevent the likes of Faye McDonough being overhauled here by Paige Fenton. Paige Fenton swam so well early this morning. She looks like she's got rhythm to burn. But let's give credit to Faye McDonough. She has held on through the butterfly. She's held on through the backstroke. She's held on through the breaststroke, and she's going to hold on through the front crawl as well to stop the clock at 2:22.13. And that will be a new short course best for her from 2:22.60 to 2:22.13. Amy Bowden in second place, third Beth Hall. Paige Fenton with a 2:24.4. On to the men's 400 freestyle next, and we will bring you 5 heats of that. Quite a few of the top swimmers from this area who are involved in the Bucks competition are not racing, so if you expect to see the likes of Jay Lelliott, for example, he may well be looking in. If you are Jay, morning to you, or yeah, still morning just, but he's not competing here. And Charlie Brown, another one who's Sheffield's big backstroke hope, and indeed one of GB's great hopes for the future. Not with us because he's involved in the university event a couple of weeks' time, but on the freestyle, still some very good swimmers here. And a couple who we highlighted earlier in the year long course, like William Baines, for example. We want to see what William Baines can do if he can get his short course time down below 4. Benjamin Shipley will be in there later on. Thomas Flower we'll see as well. This one has Joshua Royal of Durham City, Harrison Lee, City of Wakefield, Sam Tate, Morpeth, Jack Livingston of Morpeth, and Jonathan Stones of Durham City. Edge times are all fairly similar, 4:31s for a couple of them, 4:33, 4:34, and that's a kind of grouping. Yeah, we could say 5, there's only 4. We are lacking lane 2. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5. Lacking 6. We're lacking. No Jonathan Stones. Everybody else is here. Jonathan Royal of Durham, Harrison Lee, Sam Tate, Jack Livingston. First 100 completed. 50 in fact now. Tate leading by 0.28 from Livingston, then Lee, then Royal. Now, the chances are we're going to get probably 2 or 3 under their entry times, because on the freestyle short course, not swum all that often. And we're looking at 14 and 15-year-olds who not really have swum it a great deal in those kind of competitions. They've done long course all the way up to this event. Sam Tate from Livingston Lee. It's the second between 1, 2 and 3 at this stage. Very tight between 1 and 2, between 4 and 5. Nothing really to choose between Samuel Tate and Jack Livingston. Two Morpeth swimmers who will have been doing this in training numerous occasions, and as close as have been pretty much throughout the race. 0.83, 250, 150 to go. Sam Tate has the fastest time, but only just, the 4:31.30. Jack Livingston with a 4:31.50. Yet to really make move, but maybe it's coming now. With 100 to go, 4 more lengths to go. Maybe this is where Livingston starts to just encroach on that lead. I think it's getting bigger from Sam Tate. Will look to be going sub 4:30 for the first time he can. So a good scrap going on between Joshua Royal and Harrison Lee behind for 3rd and 4th, spurring each other on. But it doesn't look to me, with 50 to go when they turn next time, that Jack Livingston's going to catch Samuel Lee. So plenty in the tank. Finishes off. I think the lead is increasing up to almost 4 seconds now between our leader Samuel Tate and Jack Livingston. 15-year-old from Morpeth up against the 14-year-old from Morpeth. The Morpeth coaching team down below us, making their gestures, making their gesticulations and signals to finish this race off. They'll be hoping for something quite rapid here from Samuel Tate. I think they may get it compared to what he's done before. It's going to be well inside that 4:31, massively inside that 4:31. 4:25 is the winning time for Sam Tate. So we'll give you a joint first there, because obviously that's not the case, but just look at the times. 4:25 for Tate, 4:29 for Livingston. Both have gone appreciably quicker than they have done before. And in fact, all 4 have done PBs, I think. My correct analysis of those entry times is spot on, I think it is. P2 of the 400 freestyle for men. And we have a full contingent for this one. All 10 lanes are occupied. And centre lanes, very little to differentiate in terms of their entry time. 4:27.30, the best on paper from Sam Akers of City of Bradford. Byron Peel's got a 4:27, as has Benjamin Rogers, as has Dan Cutter. They have a whole clutch of 4:28s. So early stages, first 50 completed. Long way to go for Sam Akers, the 15-year-old. Being tracked all the way by Benjamin Rogers, 1 lane up. Dan Cutter's 1 up from him. And Harvey Pennington and Skipton is 1 lane up from him. 4 pretty much in a line here. Lanes 4, 5, 6 and 7, and joining them is Finley Hartworth and Morpeth. So 5 going to go over, not quite together, but very close together. Look at that. Top 5 separated by less than a second at this stage. And he could change hands a few times here as well. Sam Akers did lead, but won't be leading now, I don't think. It'll be Ben Rogers who's just got his nose in front. Maybe not for long, because Dan Cutter's right there. Cutter may have come through to take over now. Right on his shoulder, Harvey Pennington. It's the man without the cap who's going to go to the wall leading. Cutter by 0.22, Pennington 0.29 behind, Akers only half a second behind. All going well inside their PBs. And so lead can probably change a few more times yet. Not even halfway. We've had 3 leaders. Cutter's just about holding on, but at each turn Harvey Pennington's right there with him. And Pennington looks like he might want to take over the front of this race. Two of those will go into the wall at the same time. Pennington could get there just ahead, actually. He has, by 0.32, so another change in lead. Pennington from Cutter now. Then Rogers, then Akers, and making a very quick finish here. Sam Milburn of Billingham in lane number 1's come through from nowhere. Worked his way up into about 5th place. Just one lane up from the bottom there. Billingham is coming through. The Billingham to Sam Milburn. It is Harvey Pennington and Skipton who leads. 150 to go. So 4 leaders now. Sam Milburn's really coming through very strongly for Billingham in 1. He'll work his way into the top 3 before long here. Pennington though, from Cutter. First appreciable lead we've really seen from any swimmer in this race so far. We're seeing from Pennington. It's getting a bit more stretched out now, but Milburn's the man to watch for me in 1. So he's coming right into probably 3rd or 4th place here. There he is, 4 seconds adrift, a lot to make up, but he's worked his way through the field quite nicely. I can see him being a decent distance with the way he's kind of picked his way through the field. Still going to be in probably 4th place at this turn, but the winner will appear to have got the margin he needs now to hold everybody else off. Harvey Pennington, 14-year-old, up against quite a few 15-year-olds here. Has timed this to absolute perfection. 50 to go. Cutter in 2nd, Rogers, then Milburn. Still about the same distance between Milburn and the leader. But, Milburn maybe make it 1 more place before this is finished. Harvey Pennington, 4:28.30 his entry time. Well, he's going to be well inside that. How many more can get inside their PBs here? He certainly will. Cutter should. Milburn might. Let's have a look at that finishing time. 4:24 for Pennington. That's 4 seconds quicker than he's been before. Cutter with a 4:27. Entered on a 4:27.7. So yeah, just inside it. And Akers is a little bit slower. Milburn 4:28.77 is 4/100ths outside his entry time. So all the effort he put in, the way he was working his way through the field, just didn't quite replicate his best time. Heat 3 of 5, so gets a bit quicker here. We get into the cyclically seeded heats. And, 2 fastest in the field have a separation of just 0.1 of a second between their best times. So Harris Lister of York City, 4:21.5. James Robinson of Doncaster Darts, 4:21.6. Quite a few 4:22s or thereabouts in this one too. So quite a tight finish. Could be a very close one between 2 or 3 of them here. Lane 3, Josh Genome with a 4:22, 14-year-old, the youngest in the field. Well, 2 14-year-olds, he's one of them. Going well. Lane 3, McKinnon's right with him, 0.12 behind. Again, work done by the coaching staff up at Sunderland. He's got a really nice stroke as Josh Denham. Smooth, rhythmical. He's at the right time. Comes to the left. Keep an eye on what's happening down below. Has the lead at 100. All the way done. And leads probably about getting off for a body length. It's an appreciable one at this stage. Over 6 and 7. Ooh, Cameron McKinnon of Harrogate, Martin Smith of Borough of Kirklees. And we'll keep an eye on Harris Lister of York City, who's got the same time as James Robinson of Doncaster Darts in terms of his edge time pretty much. Denham though, the 14-year-old, still leading the way. keep an eye on that gap, see if it improves or disintegrates a bit. 0.88 that turn. It's starting to look visibly like they're coming back to him, but the straight he seems to just open up a bit more of an advantage, but 6 and 7 are now starting to look like they're making a move. Cameron McKinnon and Martin Smith. I don't think it'd be 0.88 at this turn. Well, it's actually more. 1.17 according to that. Lister, Smith, Upton, Knowles, Much. Really gutsy little swim this from the youngster from Sunderland. And where's the threat going to come from? Probably 6, Cameron McKinnon. 4 alongside him, potentially Harris Lister. Just getting into his swim now and just kicking a bit harder. Spinning those arms just a bit more. Might have moved up into 2nd or 3rd now. Very little choose between top 3. Gap is down to where it was a couple of turns ago, 0.88. But now it's being joined very much by Harris Lister. Lister right on the shoulder of the Sunderland swimmer. Just about keeping him at bay. But for how long? 100 to go very soon. And now the battle is joined between the Sunderland swimmer in 3, red cap, orange cap for York City, Harris Lister. Lister might be coming through to take over the front of this race very soon. Might be the next turn. Actually, the better turn actually came from Josh Denholm there. I think maybe off the turn the York City swimmer would go past him. He hasn't. But they're going to go into the wall, virtually identical here. I think the York City swimmer might just have taken over. Not quite. 4 100ths. That's all that separates them. And he's done so much hard work. Denholm really wants this. He's not one to relinquish it right at the tail end of the race when he's had the lion's share of the victory for the majority of the race. But Harris Lister might just pounce, might just try and overhaul him on the last few metres. Josh Denholm has other ideas. It's going to be a very, very tight thing. The Sunderland swimmer's got there, I think. I think he's just got it. Well, ignore that, because that's wrong. And Harris Lister has just got up to take it by 7 100ths of a second. That's how tight that was. It really was on the touch. Lister making his move, just maybe slightly, marginally getting a bit of touch. That's all that separated them in the end, 0.07. Denholm had done all the hard work up to that point. What he has got as a recompense is a very good new PB. Harris Lister's gone sub 4:20 for the first time as well. Really good swim, really good race. Yeah, these events do help us to maybe identify those stars of the future, some we already know about, see where they can back it up in these kind of events. And I already sung his praises a bit earlier in the session, if you were with us. Ruben Visda of City of Sheffield, really impressive talent, 16 years of age. This is the age, though, he needs to push on, start moving to that next level. Maybe not quite ready for Tokyo next year, but 5 years' time, Harris surely in his sights with the variety of swims he does and the quality of the swimming he's got. He's in 4 for City of Sheffield, going well early stages. Ben Wright for Doncaster Darts in this 400 freestyle. In between the two of them, here's Barnaby Howarth Osborne of Sheffield City. And up in lane 6, going quite well early stages, Harry Nicholson of Chestnut Street. 100 completed. Ben Wright from Visda, then Howarth Osborne. Nicholson back in 4. This is just moving through now. It's moving through the gears. Ruben Vista. See him swim today. Seems to do a lot of really good and great swimmers do. Swim with little effort and get the job done. Don't see an awful lot of splash. Don't see the arms really pounding through the water. They just kind of caress the water, and very smooth, very rhythmical, very effective. That's what kind of earmarks him for me as somebody that's got a great future if he believes in himself, and also he can carry on at this rate of progression. He leads. A couple of lanes up from him is Mason Bland, now going pretty well. Harry Nicholson and Chess in the Street as well. Harry Nicholson is his biggest threat at the moment. Ruben Vista. Two red caps separated by a couple of lanes, and then third Barnaby Howarth Osborne. 150 to go for our leader, who goes on the thread, just seems to be able to just find another gear or half a gear to ease himself away from trouble. Vista from Harry Nicholson. Gap is not appreciably any different to what it was. So what the gap is in terms of time. Well over a second. Only two, I think. No, 2.56. Between Vista and Nicholson. Another couple of seconds separating Nicholson, Howarth Osborne. Now Vista's best time, 3:57.4. Don't see him going sub 4 here, but you never know. 50 to go. Could do. Could be right on the cusp of 4 minutes. Ruben Vista here. Got that huge lead. And so you wouldn't begrudge him holding things back now and just easing off a little bit. Will be quite sub 4 this morning, but really comfortable. Really comfortable. And close up of him when he finishes, I doubt very much he's breathing heavily either. The winner was Ruben Vista, not Harry Nicholson. That will be corrected in just a moment. This is time 4:05.15. And with quite a bit to burn there, I think. How much he won that by? 9 seconds to second place. Actually, is that right? 4:05. 4:08. So he won it by just over 3 seconds, but third place was 9 seconds behind. But 3.5 seconds separating top two. On to the final heat, the 400 free now. One of the emerging stars, potentially, again, for the future. William Baines is in this one. I saw him long course earlier in the season, quite special. And Thomas Flower's another one. He's a bit older now, 20 years of age. He's been sub 4. Baines at the stage is not looking quite as well tuned as he did in the long course early in the season, but it's all about Thomas Flower against the clock potentially here. He is about 8 seconds quicker than Ben Shipley, so that's 12 seconds quicker than Thomas English, and about 11 seconds quicker than William Baines, so it should be Thomas Flower against the clock here. He'll want to post, he'd love to post a sub 4 time. 56 at the 100. I think he's on course for potentially a sub 4 here. That's if he wants it. All he has to do is qualify for tonight. That's where the times really should be scaled up. But already a appreciable lead It would not surprise me if he doesn't have something like a 20-meter lead by the end of this. If he keeps going at this kind of pace, because he is so far clear of everybody else, 150. We're not even halfway yet. He's going to turn, and they're going to be coming up towards that marker there. At least 10 meters clear now. For 12. Look how big this lead is. It won't even show on your scoreboard, I think. Well, no, it won't. Lead between 1 and 2 is quite big. Thomas Flower, very much in control of this one. Again, he might just think, okay, well, I don't need to bust a gut here. Got this race absolutely nailed. He's halfway back down the pool. The others haven't turned yet. That's how far clear he is of everybody else. They can scrap for second, third, fourth and fifth. He has got this absolutely nailed. He can kind of go through the motions if he so chooses. No reason to spend too much energy. Just get the job done. 15-meter lead. It's only 3:00:21. Next one turns 9 seconds behind. 9 seconds between 1 and 2. Sure, we'd love to go sub 4 this morning. Just need to have a look at the next split. I don't think it's quite going to happen for him. Splitting about the same as did Ruben Visder. He could. He's going to be, I reckon, 4:02 maybe? Maybe 4:02. If he wants to just finish it off quickly. I reckon 4:02, 4:03. So we're probably looking out for him. Now then, 4:02:43, our winner. Now he's won that by 10 seconds. He's won that by over 10 seconds. 10.5 seconds between Thomas Flower and Benjamin Shipley in second place. That's how much he dominated that one. William Baines in third. It's been a bit disconcerting for everybody else, seeing Flower disappear as quickly as he did, but very, very impressive swim. There's much more to come tonight, and that I'm absolutely certain. If we don't see a sub 4 tonight, I'll be very surprised from either him or Ruben Visder. Okay, we're going to have a break. So we're just taking a little bit of a time out here at Ponds Forge Loire. We will bring you the 50 freestyle, the 200 breast for men, and a few other events to come in the first session here at Ponds Forge very soon. See you then.
Bananas, I think, number 2 in the boys.